Hello there, toy collectors. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around, and I am very excited to bring you this special review.
If anything, the Kim family, they're archetypes.
Which is sad, but not always a bad thing.
I'm okay. I have one.
Let's
Zusi on the name.
Let's try them. Let's still try.
Hello there, everyone. Happy... Oh, it's Friday now. It's Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend. Welcome to the channel. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around. Star Wars fans, toy collectors, wherever the Venn diagram of those two meet, thank you for coming here tonight. Because if you're new to this channel, I like to unbox action figures and do reviews and cool things like that in that hobby. But a lot of the times those toys come from like a cool TV show or a movie. So tonight we're going to talk about Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett Ep2. And if there's any new merch that comes out, just break down the episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you had a chance to watch the episode. If you haven't, spoiler alert, 3 minutes in. And I remembered, not 56 like last week. But if you want, check out last week's episode. It was a lot of fun. And I'm really excited for tonight. So this is my third straight night streaming this week. Last night, just coming off a five-hour live stream with the enablers. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I do appreciate everyone who stops by and watches and is in the chat and has a good time. If you're having as much fun watching as I am doing the live streams here, please give the channel a sub. Let your friends know that we're live. It's like that whole viral thing. Let everyone know, and that really helps the channel and supports, and I appreciate that. So thank you. People who watch. There's also the channel members. For example, we have Figure Fan Nate here,
Smooth like butter,
who recently became a channel member. What that means is it's an optional thing where you can become a member here on YouTube, and for a few bucks a month on the membership, it gets you like special emojis here in the live chat, some exclusive content here and there, but it also supports the channel. So, giveaways, upgrading equipment and things like that, all to help build the channel up. It all goes to that. So thank you everyone who's there. And I do want to bring on my guest tonight because I'm very excited to get this started, and I'm sure everyone watching is. So my first guest is a toy collector, and she sat through the 5-hour enabler stream wondering, what am I doing here? And at one point went as far as to saying, she's like, wait, I could have left? Like at the 5-hour mark, she realized that she could have left. She didn't have to stay for the whole thing. This is my friend, Livin, Vida, Yoko.
Of course I stuck around. I'm no quitter.
Because you didn't know, though.
Yeah, it's all right.
Well,
Now
welcome back. Glad you're not sick of...
It's like I was just here.
Yeah, just mere hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops. And our next guest is currently away from home, but still gracing us with his presence and his input. You know him from Kim's Convenience and Mandalorian Season 2, Carson Teva.
Your cue card's working, Kevin?
The future General Iroh. It is Mr. Paul Sun-Hyung Lee. Welcome.
A couple long pauses.
He's working on that DJ voice.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep it smooth.
Welcome back, Paul. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm just sort of working out the kinks on this mobile unit that's going to be my sort of streaming base of operations for the next 5 months or so. And it's been an adventure. It's been a great adventure.
You sound very excited. And
I'm really mad at I lugged these Elgato key lights with me all the way from Toronto. Took up precious room in my suitcase. These are expensive lights that are, I really wanted to use to the fullest capacity, but for whatever reason, they won't connect to the hotel Wi-Fi. And you need the hotel Wi-Fi. These are Wi-Fi enabled lights to be able to control the temperature and the intensity of the lights. So now they're just stuck at one level. So I'm so happy I brought them 5,000 miles across the country to have them just
That's,
sort of sit there.
A great testimonial for the lights or the hotel Wi-Fi. And there was a lot of positive feedback after last week's episode. We had a special featured guest, the Fallen Fett, and everyone's like, is Ernie going to be on every week? Is he going to come back? Is he going to come back? Well, at everyone's request, and by that I mean Paul's, here is our friend, Ernesto.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm so happy to be back.
Welcome back, sir.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
That makes it sound like I didn't want Ernie back, and I welcomed Ernie back.
Thanks, Yoko. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Everyone with the fake office laugh.
Yeah. Those
Oh,
are
wait,
what
I
the
have one.
texts say. Yeah.
There we go.
Got all the effects, huh?
I've been working hard. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like all the upgrades to the channel, there's a lot of fun stuff going on. I'm just trying to make this more interactive, more intriguing.
The bios were
Thank
so
you for-
good last week, and then this week, or the intros, I mean, and then this week you just kind of
Yeah, he's kind of
You want
mailing
the
it in.
same
Eh?
one?
lost that
Yeah.
momentum.
Yeah.
You know,
You got to have something new.
last
happen to
week I
you.
thought it was like, all right, new year, new intros for Kev. We're on a roll.
Last week wasn't a new year. No, wait, it was a new year. You're right.
Mm,
Yeah, it was the first of the new year.
yeah.
It's true. Look, I'm 7.5 hours in this year of lives, or this week.
What?
Right. Yeah, I'll give it to you for that.
Spider-Man. We did Spider-Man No Way Home Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everyone who's watching right now. I know there's a lot of great stuff on the internet, but you chose you could have been anywhere on the internet, but you're here with us, and I appreciate that. Ernie, would you like to do the honors, or should I?
I'll go for it.
Let's go. Do you have the chat there?
Yeah. I'm pretty positive it's everybody. Hey guys, what's
Ernie-
up? Thanks. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
Nah. You go
Wow.
ahead, man.
Wow.
What do you want?
All right, this is the
He has to intro
starters
the
crystal.
intro.
Ready?
Hello there.
Yo tubing.
I like that a lot. What's up, Butter Nation's in the house? It looks like we got a lot of people here tonight. We got Figure Fan Nate, Toy Ren Sue, what's up? The Wrestling Hound, Darth Gutierrez, High School Creations. Who else is here? Emmanuel, what's up? The Toy Page, Tommy K, RMD Collective, Bearded Builds. Who else? Lots of
We have to
everybody
stop for
talking.
Tommy.
Is Tommy here? 1, 2,
Yes.
3. Shut up,
Shut up.
Tommy.
Hi, Tommy.
My mouth was full. Sorry.
Shut up, Tommy. Jason Liu is here. Nico, August Photo, Matt, and Panfred Nuda. Let's see. Stream Elements, GL Faraday, Doombot 796 Studios. Did he stick around the whole 5 hours?
Unfortunately.
796.
I mean, yes.
He did.
Right. Yeah. Your mic's on, Yoko.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
White Northern Empire. I think he heard that.
I forgot we were started.
Huh.
This was a private chat.
Linger the Rabbit, Jedi K6, and is that everybody? Mary, who's that? I just lost it again. Anna Lee, Adam Gonzalez, Mary K. Fabe. That's convincing.
That's my wife.
And
just so you know.
yes,
She said, "Just move them closer."
Yeah, the lights. It's not that baby, okay? Honestly. Okay. Fucking time. Just feel like that. Just yeah, okay, yeah. Thanks. I didn't think about that. I never thought about that. Move the lights closer. That's not the problem with the lights.
great.
He's just an actor. He doesn't do light.
Nathan's Toy Nation. Hey, what's up? Thanks for the welcome back. I am. What is that? M1. What am I missing here? M1CAH. I am Micah.
I am Micah.
Micah, right? Christopher, Adam Winger Lose, what's up? Gross Fidelity and Grammy Lace, David's here, Jedi, and Tommy K. There we go. That's everybody.
Look, I try to be nice to Tom, and that's what she said to me. So shut up, Tommy.
Oh no.
And yes, Tommy, I did try turn them on and off again. Okay, just so people know, I'm looking at my microphone like it's got the camera in it. I'm going to look at the camera. This is all alien for me. These lights have to be connected to the Wi-Fi, right? The router. I don't have control of the router, so I've reset them. I've tried everything. They won't connect to the hotel Wi-Fi, so I can't use it. All the troubleshooting I've seen, it says, hey, just reset your router. I can't call the hotel concierge to say, hey, do you mind switching off the router for like to everybody in the building for like 5 minutes so I can set up my lights? They won't do it. So there you go. I think I might get a jet
tried.
Oh, I've tried calling them, yes.
Did
Maybe
you
in the
play
middle of the night? Yeah.
Did you
No,
show
no.
your Star Wars like ID? Like, hey, like a screenshot? Like, hey, I was in. Ever heard of it? Little show called.
No.
Give him a trade.
You
Give him a signed card.
That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, you don't carry your Topps card around with you?
No,
Shit,
but
everywhere.
It's like in lieu of a business card.
You mean
He
all
does.
these?
See, yeah,
All
exactly.
these?
So you need to walk down there in the middle of the night tonight with one of those, slide it on the counter, and be like, "Sir, I just need you to reset it just real quick."
No, you
Yeah.
know what? It'll be like that. It'll be like planes, trains, and automobiles, where the guy's like, "Do you have $17 and a nice watch?" And it'll be like, "No, but I have a trading card." Ooh, Carson Teva, and he'll look at me, and go, "I'm afraid I'm going to have to say goodnight." Just sort of close the thing on me. So
Before we get into the episode, who wants to tell the story of the jetpack that just happened before we went live? Ernie or Paul? I think it fits the theme of this show.
It
And I'm
does.
sure the viewers will get a kick out of it. Who wants to take the lead?
It doesn't matter.
All right.
You
Well,
want me to? Okay.
Ernie, you started it, so
It was all of us, and I'm,
Let's
just
just reenact
invited.
it.
Yeah, I'm so honored to be here. And he was talking about the situations with his lights. And so I said, well, have you ever thought about it? A jetpack? And Paul's like, yeah, a jetpack would be great. And I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah. So maybe that might help you. He's like, yeah, I can just strap it on, but a blind guy might come and hit me with a stick. And then I take off. And I was all, wow, okay, I'm sorry. I did it. Again, the whole US Canadian thing. A jetpack here, what I was talking about, is a mobile like Wi-Fi router. I use them for work. So that's what I was talking about. And man, Paul came with the shots immediately.
I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't like here in Canada we call them rocket sticks or whatever. We don't call them jetpacks. And so when he said, "Yeah, you try using a jetpack," and I thought, "Oh, why would I need a jetpack? It would be like, some blind guy could accidentally hit it with a cane, and I go flying off and fall into a big deep hole and get consumed for like 1,000 years in the belly of a beast." And I didn't realize that Ernie was talking about like an internet stick, and I felt kind of bad afterwards. Sorry.
no, you did.
Okay,
so
so we
perfect.
all had a big laugh, actually. So
When Yoko came in, she's like, why is Ernie already crying?
I was posting something, and I
Yeah.
really thought Ernie was making a joke about Boba Fett jetpacks. And
Yeah,
then
see,
Paul
you
was
too.
just like,
Yeah.
just
That's fine. You already want to get into this?
Headshot.
Let's go. Yeah. So
it
there
was
it was.
fantastic.
Last week it was
Um,
the beanie. This week is jetpack.
Yeah, can we?
You
Speaking
learned
of
something new.
beanies, can we address the other elephant in the room? I need to
that?
know if Kev intentionally stole my my Fennec bound.
You own a orange hat. Apparently, only you can wear. You and
And the black
Ming Na Wen.
top though, that combination.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
No, if I had like
combination.
a biker jacket, first of all, you're bound, and I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not being Trandoshan with you here. Like, it looked really good last week. Like, I thought you looked like a cool biker.
Thank you.
So there's no
Nice
way
to meet everything
I'm gonna
to me.
try and steal that look.
Yeah, okay, but I wanted to know if you were inspired.
No,
No.
you did not
Fennec
inspire me.
bound.
he
Or
outright
if you
just stole it.
Or if you
He
just
stole the
happen
idea,
to
Yoko.
wear, if you just happen to wear an orange toque and black hoodie.
This is because it's the only Star Wars hoodie that I have. I don't have anything Boba Fett, so
So, but were you?
He's- 'cause
But
he's
were
not
you
that great.
trying?
Oh. Here we go again. All right, so Paul has one, Kevin has one. That's fine.
Yoko's
So
just
anyway.
got to throw one in, and we got the Boba hat trick.
Oh,
Right, yeah.
I'm sure I will find my moment.
There
Right,
we go.
it's gonna be right in the middle of the show. I'm not even wearing a Boba shirt tonight. I'm wearing a Hut. So
Oh.
Let's just since we're talking about shirts, Star Wars is doing this bring home the bounty every week kind of thing, and Ernie sent me the link. Here's some stuff that they announced this week. If you're talking about merch, last week we talked about Boba Fett action figures and hot toys and things. I don't think there was anything new since Saturday, except for the pre-order of the Black Series.
bro, that's not new.
It's a repack. Come on.
Yep,
man.
It's a
that's not
repack.
new.
Come on.
I understand.
Look it, I have already been sent one. Wow.
How much are they selling for? They're already out of stock. Oh my god.
Yep. Yeah.
Or
As we
was it
say
ever
that,
in
right,
stock?
Paul? And
Right.
yeah, it went up on what was it? I believe it was Thursday morning,
Yeah.
right? 10
So
a.m.
Ernie, nothing on this is new. Is
No,
what you're saying?
look it. It's
Like elbows, knees.
no.
it's the
still
same
these-
from.
It's the old buck. It's still
whatever
this
year.
is still the old 7-year figure. Walgreens exclusive. Prototype.
Fred,
It's a
how could you? He says, "I don't buy it." Kev's being very Trandoshan.
It
Come
is
on.
it's the same one. It's just a different box now. It has the
Yeah.
art box that it's in.
That's all it is. It's a repack. You're
Yes.
paying $50 for a cardboard box,
Yeah.
basically. Because
Yes.
the figure is, and that's honestly, this is one of the reasons why it was a little bit easier for me to get out of Black Series, was because of that constant sort of bait and switch. It's just like,
Yep.
it's the same figure with different paint on it.
Yeah.
And it worked for a while. I mean, Lord knows I have enough Boba Fett's that I accidentally pre-ordered by accident with slightly different color schemes. I mean, look at the Carbonite series. That's all it is new paint and a new box. But it's
Shiny
the same
paint.
figure. Yeah, shiny paint. That's about
Shiny
it,
paint.
right?
That's it. Right.
So it's like that episode of The Simpsons, Malibu Stacy now with a hat, right? Everybody goes, "Oh my god!" and they go nuts over it, and it's just like, yeah,
Yeah. And then so the other thing is too, this wasn't highly sought after. It's
Yeah.
still up on Amazon. Like if you don't want to wait for the one to come out, you can go on Amazon right now and get it for $30. So it wasn't one of the ones that, oh man, that was $110. I'm glad they're re-releasing it. And no, this is everywhere still. Even though it took forever for me to hunt it down, but it gets a little upsetting because marketing wise, we had What If come out and you had a whole wave of figures out from Marvel Legends to go along with the What If series.
Yeah.
We're here in the second week of the Book of Boba Fett and nobody has a figure yet still, unless you were one of the very rare lucky ones to have a Fennec and a Boba from the first case. They only got one case, Target and Walmart or other online retailers, and then that was it. And they haven't been seen since. So
But I mean, those figures, though,
we should have them.
But technically, those figures were from Mandalorian season 2. They're not from Book of Boba Fett.
You're absolutely right.
Those are Mando
Yes.
season 2 figures
Yes.
that came out. Like how long after
Yes.
season 2
Right.
aired?
Right.
We're talking like a half year, 8 months. It's just like,
Yeah. You're absolutely
It's
right, Paul.
incredible.
So we have nothing. Technically, we have nothing.
The first Book of Boba figure would be the deluxe Boba Fett, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
well, I mean,
Which then you're-
hats off to Hot Toys because they're. Oh no! You know what? That's still Mandalorian season 2, like because of the
Yes, it
Boba
is.
Fett with the pitted armor and him in the Tusken Raider robes. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that came out perfect timing. It's like, nah, that's from season 2. That's
Correct,
still from
which is
season 2.
Why I still haven't pre-ordered that one, because I would only then technically trying to be pre-ordering it to get the throne, because it's
Right.
not going to be what he's wearing in the Book of Fett. So
That's right.
that's a hard decision. I'm still on the fence with that one to see if I'm going to get it or not. Oh
I
yeah,
want to give
see?
a quick shout out to Marky K Fabe for the follow on Twitch. He says the new boxes are better,
Oh, they are.
and he doesn't have one
100%.
yet, so it works for him. So it's not that there's no need for it; it's just more repacks, and this isn't even a repaint. This is same paint.
Dude, this is
Reboxed. It's reboxing.
some little
we
kids in the
just
back
dedicated
taking out
10
all.
minutes to it.
Yeah,
Yes.
some little kids in the back opening the Walgreens boxes and putting it into the new box. That's all they're doing right now. I mean, basically, because it's the same exact one. And I'm sorry for those who are prepared.
That was not a misfire. We have a super chat from Captain
my
Rex.
fan.
Thank you
Captain
for
Rex.
the super chat. What's going on? Happy New Year. He says, Happy Friday, all. Cheers. And Paul is looking like he's channeling his inner. I've only ever read this name in comics. How do you
Chrysanthemum.
pronounce it?
Chrysanthemum.
Mm-hmm.
Chrysanthemum.
That is correct. Yes.
This week. Fitting.
I keep calling
Well,
Chrysanthemum.
thank you for the super chat.
It's Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum Claus.
I don't want to sit on that Wookiee's lap. No, thank you.
Wait, give us an angry face real quick, Paul. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, look. Angry
Yeah.
Appa. There we go. Why did I get that? You get a Tusken Raider t-shirt, a tote bag. I don't even know. Does anyone need a tote bag? And a pullover hoodie. Boba Fett Tusken Raider group shot pullover hoodie. All right, that's the new merch. I figured since there wasn't that much, we could just skip through that
That's it.
stuff real quick.
Yeah. And it's real
Wow.
90s-esque, 90s swap meet style hoodies and
Asset
shirts.
slapping is what it is.
Is what, sorry?
Asset slapping.
Oh. All right. It's the
Asset
first episode.
slapping.
Second episode.
Industry term.
I don't know. Yoko's talking about slapping something. and I'm
Slapping
like, I'm just-
assets on merch.
slap that asset is what she's saying.
Yeah.
Also,
all
Fred
it
was
is.
here earlier and he said, what it do? And I wanted to play this.
What it do, baby?
All right, let's go. Episode 2, The Tribes of Tatooine. We have, we start off with Fennec Shan bringing in the prisoner from last episode. And we find out he is an assassin from the Order of the Night's Wind. And I think it's a new thing that they made up for this.
Yes.
It's new, baby.
It's new.
Which I
But
like.
they
I
suck.
love that. They can't all be home
Oh,
runs.
by the way,
Kevin.
Paul.
They can't all be dingers.
Sorry, go ahead. They can't.
That's true.
I was walking around the house after last Saturday's episode, and I just kept playing back in my head the conversations between you and Ernie. And Ernie was like, well, this is the droid. And you're like, no, this isn't. And then Ernie said, well, in the subtitles, it said this is the name of the droid. And you're like, well, I talked to John Favreau told me this.
No,
this, and
that was
this.
a different droid. That was a
Right.
different droid.
It was like
Yeah.
you were thinking of something else. But in my mind, I just realized that, like, at any point, Paul can just be like, yeah, well, John Favreau told me this. So, you know,
Yeah.
boom.
And I gotta
And-
shut up and
Just
take
waiting
it.
for more of that.
And that's
No, it's not. The point I was trying to make was just because the droids look the same doesn't necessarily make them the same. It's like saying all Asian people look the same. It's like, oh, there's an Asian guy in this. Well, it happened in Rogue One, right? It's like you see a little Asian girl get saved by Jyn Erso, and everybody's like, oh my God, that's Rose. That's got to be Rose Tico, right? And they're trying to make a connection where the connection doesn't exist. In this case, Ernie was absolutely correct. That was the same droid. But the only point I was trying to make was there are many droids. There are many. You don't necessarily. It doesn't necessarily have to be that exact droid. In this case, Ernie was absolutely correct. But the example I was using was the bartender droid on Tatooine. I went, oh my God, it's
Right.
the same droid in Jabba's palace, and that's when Favreau's like, nah, it's not. It looks the same, but it's not. You know, it's just they're not all the same, Paul. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what happened. But in my brain, I'm just like, man, Paul can just use that anytime.
yeah, and
Like,
you
he's
have
my
to take
personal
it as
friend.
word.
Mhm.
Yeah,
With-
and that's it.
With great responsibility comes with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, how do you mess that up? No Uncle Ben rolls.
Wait. Says the guy who pooched the beginning of this live stream. You're chirping me about getting one little thing wrong.
I also said this was episode 1. So we know the bar is set real low. The viewers know. The Order of the nice wind. And I love all the little digs that, they're back to their same dynamic there. Boba Fett's trying to act all like regal, and Fennec Shan is just making little jabs and comments. I love it. She's like, hey, you're paying for the name. They're not that great.
Guys
But
in
my
hoodies.
favorite part, sorry, Ernie, go ahead.
Guys in hoodies. She just kept on. It was great. That was it. She's all guys in hoodies.
Yeah, she's a hood.
Yeah.
So, they're standing there on the grill there, or the gate, the trapdoor, and they're trying to get this assassin to give up the name who hired him. They're like, oh, we're a fancy order of assassins. I'll never break. I'll never tell you. So Fennec Shan says, you know what? We'll just toss him into the Sarlacc pit. It's like, you don't want to talk? Maybe you want to try your luck? Not the Sarlacc pit, the Rancor pit. So they toss him in, and as the door opens, the suspense builds, and I'm like, man, is this it? Is this going to be Moochie?
Moochie. I was waiting for Moochie too.
The Rancor from Bad Batch. If you were to see it again, this would be the spot, right? But no. What did they have instead? It was the Black Series HasLab. That wasn't there.
I was wondering how long it would take to make this joke.
Yeah.
We went right there.
I said it immediately on Wednesday night. It's as if you heard 8,533 voices screaming in agony. Yeah.
Shout outs to Toy Farce for making this.
Go.
Please follow the Toy Farce on Instagram. He does hilarious toy-related satire, comedy. It's funny stuff. And it's never like in bad taste. It's just having fun. It's just stuff like this.
It works too well. Like I feel bad laughing at it, but like
I don't.
There you know HasLab showing up there.
I'm like, I gotta get the screenshot for Friday, and then I went on IG, and Toy Farce already made it. So this is perfect. I figured I'd fit it right here. Please go check out Toy Farce. Fantastic stuff. And he was also on Toy Migos with Ernie and the Toy Migos last year.
Sir.
Go check that episode out. So, but while they were tricking him into thinking there was a Rancor in there, he gives up. The mayor sent me, and they're like, psych. There was nothing there. There was just a little rat, and that scene was awesome. And title card. Let me see, what did the chat say? Burn on.
A lot of rips in the chat.
Too soon. It's a whole new year. It's all good.
Too soon.
It's
It
all
didn't
in
even
fun.
happen, so it's okay. We can. Yeah, it wasn't going to happen. Hey, before that, on that whole thing, when we speaking of 88 again, and he was there, I kind of feel like he's still working for a certain family. Just the way that he was making that assassin out to be, when Fennec kept dogging him, he's like, "Ooh, they're such, killers. He's not going to talk. He's not going to talk." I kind of feel this is a jaded droid here that might step in and do something to sabotage.
Yeah, I don't trust this guy. I don't trust this guy at all.
Yeah, it was right, because it was like, no, he's not going to talk. He's not going to talk. So, yeah.
The other thing, too, is the voice of 88 is Matt Berry. Now, those of you who watch What We Do in the Shadows, he plays a character in that. He's one of the vampires in there. He's also, I first saw him on a YouTube clip of a show that he was a star of called Toast of London. And one of the segments was he's an actor, a voice actor doing work in the booth. And if you've ever done voice work, he pretty much hits a lot of the humor that happens when you're recording stuff. But there's a character by the name of Clem Fandango who's a producer there, and he has this rivalry against him. But so Matt Berry is like, he's a really sort of it's a big name to have for just the voice of a droid. And so that makes me think he's going to have there's going to be a little bit more involved than just a little cameo appearance. So I think you're onto something, Ernie. I think you're definitely onto something there.
It just really seemed that way by, he kept cutting him off, even cut Boba Fett off, and, trying to tell Boba Fett what to do the last time. You know, he was the one saying, you know, you should really be torturing people and like that. I think he is. He might end up sabotaging something. He was just too quick with his comments on who exactly they were.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's cool insight sometimes when you see the after credits. Sorry, go ahead, Yoko.
I said I buy it. I'm into it. That's all I have to say about that, Kev.
Oh, Mario's really making an impression on you with the. That's all I have to say about that. Anna says you've got to press the button.
Yeah, that's one of the gags in it because he's in the sound booth and they're giving him notes, and the producer keeps forgetting to press the button to activate his mic. So all you hear is,
"Oh."
He's like, "I can't hear you. You've got to press the button. Press the button." All right, so just do that again, and he just goes absolutely fucking crazy. It's great. Like, Google it, check it out on YouTube. It's Toast of London. It is the best of Clem Fandango, and you will pee yourself laughing. It's brilliant. Brilliant.
I thought she was still trying to help you with your lights.
I can't see you.
Damn. Another burn for the lights.
It's going to be one of those shows, eh? All right, let's go. Free for all. It's Battle Royale style, right? Royal Rumble.
The wife is in the chat.
Every YouTuber for themselves.
Wait, I didn't say it. But Vanek, sorry, yes.
Sorry, maybe I'll bring this up a little bit later on after we get to the mayor's chamber, actually. But it has to do with some of the humor at the beginning of this episode, whether it landed for you guys or not. I just want to get your opinion on that. So,
sure. Let me know. You mean like when he walks into the office?
Yeah, a little bit of that, but the whole like with the Rancor just throwing him down there and saying it's empty, and like this whole there are instances where I find the humor in Star Wars absolutely works. You know, and I'm thinking more Taika Waititi stuff with the two scout troopers going on, with all the little, like, sometimes it works sometimes when it doesn't feel as forced. You know, Grief Karga going, do the little hand thing, do the magic hands, and you know, Grogu just sort of waves at him. For this stuff, I don't know. I felt kind of, for me, it just didn't land quite right. Like, it's the whole, you know, throwing him down there. He's overrated. All this stuff. Of course, it's empty. And then going into the mayor's office, and guys like, Boba Fett, yeah. And he's, you know, that whole, it just felt a little bit too contemporary in a way.
Yes.
You know, it's like that office humor that just felt a bit out of place in the Star Wars universe for me. And there was, I was honestly, I was a little bit worried. It's like, oh God, is this whole episode going to be like that? I mean, it absolutely later on redeems itself and just kicks into high gear. And I absolutely love the second episode, but I was a little bit concerned going into the mayor's office, especially after the Major Domo comes out and he's doing all this stuff as well. I was kind of like, I don't know if this is going to translate.
I noticed that too when she said it. Like, it's empty. It's like a kid who just played a prank on you.
Yeah, it's just like little things like that just seemed like it didn't quite fit, right? It just seemed a bit of forced humor. It's like, hey, would it be funny if we did that? And it's like, yeah, but in the Star Wars universe, does that actually work or not? Again, that's just like a gut reaction I had to those scenes in particular.
We have a Canuck 4 in the chat.
Woo!
Anna, Wing or Lose, Toy Rensu, Bearded Builds. So a little Oh Canada salute from Ralph Wiggum over here.
Yay.
The YouTuber. There's no prize.
Oh, what's the point then?
We're all here for fun, Yoko, except for you. You're just here to trash me.
She's here for blood.
No.
Speaking of Yoko, there are a lot of Trandoshans in this area.
My people.
With the, you might be, and
they're scary.
You know, they highlighted them a few times, and our friend Mike might say there are a lot of Trandoshans around here. So, but I don't know. Is that there's a lot of bounty hunters? Is there going to be more like a Trandoshan bounty hunter?
Is every Trandoshan bounty hunter?
No, I'm just saying, like, they just,
you mean because of Bosk?
Keep focusing on it.
Yeah, because I think we're definitely, because we're gonna get Bosk, like we have to.
All right. I'm just
He's-
saying there are a
he's
lot of
gonna show
Trandoshans
up.
around here.
These ones are scary looking, man.
Okay,
These
the
are like
reason Paul and
nightmare.
Ernie, the reason Yoko was cracking up when we were driving around, when Mike, our friend Mike and Mario, they were driving around in Cali when we were there,
Mhm.
and Mario says, like, man, there's I don't know if you noticed, there's a lot of Asian people in this area, and Mario is half Asian, and then the other friend Josh was like, yeah, I noticed that too, and then Mike sat in the back. He's like, yeah, I noticed that too, but I didn't want to say anything because I'm white. I'm like, but then it went into this whole thing where like it's not a bad thing, it's an observation. It's this whole Bill Burr bit. It's like it's just an observation. But then we kept extrapolating what Mike said and making it worse. How he was saying like there are a lot of Asians around here. And then so the whole trip we just kept teasing Mike and we were saying, are there a
It got
lot of Asians
progressively
around
worse.
here, or are there too many Asians around here? And he never said anything. It's just this running joke that we have. So when I saw this scene, I'm like, there are a lot of Trandoshans around here. And that's why Yoko is kind of losing it.
No.
But anyway.
It was unexpected. Good job, Kev. You got
You
me.
and RMD Collective
You
got
got
it.
me. Yeah.
So we head to the mayor's office. I don't have a screenshot of that guy because I
I
thought
hated this whole
that
scene.
weird clerk.
I think
You
Great.
didn't? I want to add to Paul's though. I didn't like it either. It really seemed like
Yeah.
like that dude was I get what he was there for in the type of comedy, but it did seem like if that was the dude who won a contest and you got to be on the show and that was your part. Because he didn't deliver. It also seemed so. Then I went with the comedy that Paul's talking about, so it seemed like very Pee Wee Herman, like when he was at the front desk type thing. So all you really needed was for him to look at the camera, and definitely just make eye contact. Like I was waiting for that, but sometimes it does get weird. The banter between Boba and Fennec though is awesome. Like I'm on to that now, so I get that. But when you got this one. He said his lines and then he was done. And right when the guy came out, he even said, okay. And then he walked away. And I was like, oh, that was really weird. The guy already looks like a creeper. And that was just a weird exchange. He does. He was really funny looking. It was really, yeah, that kind of puts you out immediately.
Mhm.
Why didn't you like this scene, Yoko?
It just didn't feel right. Nothing about it felt like the same level as the rest of the show. I think, I don't know, and it's the misplaced humor, like Paul was saying. Like I felt that several moments throughout this episode too. It just, I don't know. I'm glad we got through this part.
Well, and that's the thing. I've been shows like, and I get it. I'm not criticizing the acting or the performances. I think what they did with the material. I mean, you're directed to do certain things as well. You make choices as an actor. There are all these different things. The way it's edited, the choices that they make. I mean, when we shoot stuff, they shoot lots of variations, right? So there's all these choices that are sort of out of your hand as a performer. Once it's in the can, somebody else takes over. And so I am not disparaging any of the actors or the performances at all. For me, it just felt it didn't work because it felt out of universe. It just felt, and that's what was so jarring about it. That's why I was a bit worried, because it's like, this is like contemporary office humor that we have seen, and they did it great, but it's just, it didn't feel like it fit in the Star Wars universe, in my opinion. And that was the big thing. I was really worried. It's like, okay, it's just because it wasn't a great start. It really wasn't a great start to this whole thing. And right from bringing this badass back, who's supposed to be the Nightwind assassin, who's like, you're going to get your head cut off, and he's not going to say anything, right? He's like, and they dump him in a hole, the door opens, and he completely loses his shit and gives it up like there's no tomorrow. Like, that felt a little bit too forced as well, right? Like, oh, so he's scared of this, but he's not scared of that. Like, what kind of an assassin is he?
Yeah.
Type thing. And it just seemed a little bit too out of universe. That's the only thing I can say. It's just out of universe, and it didn't work for me.
Maybe it's a major domo, because that's who does it for me. The way that he's talked, and I mentioned this before, it is just to hear of us. It's not, maybe even if he talked a a different language and we got subtitles, that would make it better, maybe. But
Mhm.
it's his demeanor and the way that he puts it off to me is just to, like you're saying, you are going for the comedy aspect of it, the whole office banter and the little chuckles. You're trying to get those little chuckles out of him.
Mhm.
So every time
Mhm.
that he talks, that's what I hear from him, and that always takes me away anytime this dude shows up. So I get it. I mean, and what you know what's so hard about it is I totally understand what you and Yoko are saying, but the whole visual and setups is amazing. Like, so that's what's so hard for me is, you know, that this is Star Wars. We're on Tatooine, the rooms, the setup, the everywhere that, you know, them walking down the street, and then you
Mhm.
get this banter, and that's exactly what throws you kind of back a little bit. And oh, what is going on? And
Yeah.
then when they shot their
Mhm.
rifles at the dude, I was expecting a quick fight scene. Like, why wouldn't you fight back real quick?
Right. And it's interesting too, because you have like, and I want to compare it to the scene between the two biker scouts and their conversation, which is very much like water cooler talk. These two troopers, we've never heard troopers really speak that way to each other before. If it's
Mhm.
done incorrectly, it could turn into something like the office scene just
Mhm.
before they enter the mayor's chambers, right? But for whatever reason, that connected more just because they spoke of truths within universe to each other, right? They
Mhm.
talk about Moff Gideon wiping out his own troops and them kind of being nonchalant about it. It's like, oh, he killed his own troops? Yeah, you know, he just shot an officer for interrupting him. That felt, although it was ridiculous, completely believable because you just saw Moff Gideon wipe out an entire room of troopers that were under his command, right? And these two with their little, like, that felt more authentic for whatever reason. I know just this plastic space armor, and it's Jason Sudeikis and Adam Pally in there, and they're great comedians doing their bits. But it just felt a little bit less contrived and more in universe, so it fit better. Whereas the whole Boba Fett, do you have
Yeah.
an appointment? Like
Right.
that just
Right.
felt like so SNL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking in
Uh,
my head. SNL did a Star Wars sketch.
That was great.
And
Yeah,
they had
exactly. Yeah.
costumes and a 3D back, and that's what it felt like.
So it made it worse because of the disrespect they showed towards Boba Fett, like tossing him. Okay, thanks for bringing him in. Here's your money, your reward,
Well, that's
bounty
I mean
hunter.
that's pretty. I'm familiar with that. The disrespect to Boba Fett.
No,
That
no,
doesn't
no.
seem.
He was
I-
trying to be somebody, and you know, the whole you're just a bounty hunter. So I've heard.
Yeah.
Like, that's really has to get to him, you know.
I love that. See, that for me though, I like that part because it is like that's more in tune with the storyline. Like I get what they were trying to do with the whole Boba Fett, and like, oh, we didn't see you show up in your
Yeah.
litter. They're really trying to lower his status.
Yes.
And I get that. Like I get that, and that's fine. It's just like the tactics that they used didn't quite land properly just because it seemed a little bit too comedic. They weren't cutting enough. You know,
Yeah.
these little microaggressions have to annoy the viewer as well. And they annoyed me, but in the wrong way. They didn't annoy me because it's like, do you not know who this guy is? This is
See,
the
and that's
guy.
where I'm getting annoyed. That's Boba Fett. Should
Yeah.
not talk to him that way.
Exactly. But I mean, if they'd watched the original trilogy, of course they wouldn't respect him because
Shouldn't.
like all he does is slink around corners and follow people and like hide behind Vader's cape. And then he falls into the
And hiding
Sarlacc pit.
garbage.
I mean, really, all he does is that in the so like if that's who
Strategic.
they're thinking of, they didn't see him wipe out 2 squadrons of stormtroopers and blow up a ship. They didn't see him go all like Rambo on these guys, right? They just saw him or heard the story of him getting knocked into the Sarlacc pit by a blind dude who wasn't even trying. And so that's the Boba Fett. So that's why they're ragging on him. So I don't know. I just kind of feel like I get what they're trying to do in terms of bringing him down. But you've also, I mean, it comes up later. They're betting on the twins, right? They're betting that Fett is not going to stand a chance against the actual Hutts coming in, right? So that's why they're being way more bold.
He's only here for a minute. All right.
Yeah,
I guess
That's
so.
what I wanted
He's still
to
Boba
mention.
Fett, though. And you know, seeing this shot, you're absolutely right. I don't think that jetpack is good for you. That's probably not going to work. So, yeah, you're right. I can see that now.
Do you think this guard can draw and hit somebody that close to Boba Fett? before he even reacts if he's such a great bounty hunter. That's one. Two, do you guys believe there's more to the mayor than he's letting on? Because this assassin was, the mayor sent me, the mayor sent me. Before we even hear anything about it, he has the guard shoot him, essentially shutting him up before he can say anything more, right? And then after that, the mayor says, you should look at the twins. And he's kind of like, okay, so this guy who can implicate me, he's dead now. I'm going to try and draw attention or redirect Boba Fett's attention somewhere else. So, yeah, we see the Fetts there's a power struggle there, but I feel like there's something more going on with the mayor, the way he silenced the guy and tried to play it off as, he's not allowed to operate outside of Hutt space, so here's some money. And I think he's trying to use everything to try and throw Boba Fett off the scent.
Yep, I agree.
Right, and it kind of seems like it's all of them together, actually, because he sends her to what's her name's. You need to go ask her what's going on, and so so she absolutely knows what it is too. So you're right. It's like if everybody knows other things that's going on, and he's the one who's totally kept out of the loop.
Yeah, and that's what basically happens, because when he shows up there, she's like, "Oh, you didn't hear?" And
right, yeah,
that's and that's like, everybody's heard except for Boba, right? But and it makes sense too. I mean, everybody's betting on the Hutts. No one wants to give Fett a chance, and I think that's the takeaway from all this is nobody respects him because they don't expect him to be there. Nobody respects him. Sorry,
I don't get no respect.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know what he's been through, right? Like, do they even know that he fell in the Sarlacc pit and crawled out? Like, as far as they know, he could have just disappeared for,
I would kind of think that would be a story that's passed around and part of his character building now. The great Fett is, got hit by a blind guy and got dumped in there. I think that would be shared. He was there for a long time. I mean, he was always right there next to Jabba as well too.
Well, who would have
all
shared
those
that
scenes.
story? Who would have seen him?
Max Rebo, right here. What a setup. Survivor from the Katana, the sail barge. He's like in elephant weird talk. He's like, which translates to world's most feared bounty hunter. I don't think so. He fell into that Sarlacc pit.
His cousin Hooter would have been the one to translate everything, and then that's when everybody knew. That's who.
Also, there's DJ Rex, aka DJ Panfred Nudo, in the house in droid form.
And the Snivian.
Yep.
The right over there, Snivian.
Yep.
I know the actor who's in that costume.
Nice.
Pam Riddle. She's a character. She's a creature performer extraordinaire.
Yeah.
So you'll get that from her Instagram page.
that's Snaggletooth. Going into
of the same
Toy
race.
Talk. You're right. Yeah.
Here we go.
Of the same race, my friend.
No. I'm saying going into Toy Talk. This is like Kenner's greatest story because there was a red and a blue. So the original was supposed to be this short red one, and the blue one was then bigger and part of the Sears collection when you got that set, and it was a very rare figure. And it was like kind of those mess up things. Back in the day, you didn't have all the stuff that we had. You're going off of pictures or what was told to you to be made. So there was two different Snaggletooth. So to see little red Snaggletooth chilling there like the original, that was cool. Let
me ask you a question.
Did Snaggletooth have hair like that?
Yeah, it wasn't
the wig.
It was really combed over though. It was a nice comb over in this one.
Ernie, you're obviously familiar with that stuff. Paul, I'm assuming you are as well. Do you collect those? Go back and get some of the old stuff?
Oh, the vintage stuff? Like from like the OG stuff, Kenner stuff?
Yeah.
That hurts too much. So
I think I remember what you said.
It's one of those things. Yeah, my parents gave all my stuff away. And I said, keep it. I'll be back for it. And it was like, where is it? Oh, it's gone. We gave it away a long time ago. Like as soon as I left. It's like, yeah, we'll take good care of it. And it was gone. So it went to friends of ours, their kid. So it's like, okay, well, at least somebody got to play with them and stuff. But like in terms of the figures that were lost and the vehicles, that was tough. tough. So,
But I want to ask you two for your opinion. Is that kind of situation for Star Wars collectors where it feels like, oh, there's a variant or something that's rare that like we have to get it? Like, oh no, this character doesn't have the blaster in their hand in the package. It's over here now. So that's a variant, and we got to get it. Did that kind of like how the toy releases were before kind of breed this mentality to modern times where like, you know, new packaging, I got to get all this, and I have to get variants and whatnot because they're important?
It was a mistake back then. That's all they were mistakes. And we didn't get to know about it the way that we know now. We had magazines back in the day. Wizard, Toy Fair, Lee's Toy Guide. That's how you knew about everything. And that was the only way. You waited a month to go pick it up, and all of a sudden, oh, what do you mean? There's a Darth Vader. He has his lightsaber, but his lightsaber is shorter in a long tray. Oh my God, I have to get that. It's a mistake, and you go searching for that exact same one. So that's what it was. Now, with the day and age that we live in, and everybody from your phone to YouTube to everything, a mistake is found. It's more common, and it's immediately thrown out there, and it's just a mistake now. Oh, I found a figure on the wrong card. This figure is in the wrong bubble. Anything. Back in the day, though, it was huge. That was part of the hunt, was to go find those mistakes. Boba Fett, he had circles on his hands. One was a half circle. You had to find that one. It wasn't painted all the way. Another one had no circle. You had to go find that one. One was, and then it was on both hands. So what circles do you have? So you're literally at a Kmart looking at the side of the figure in the row to see all the paint on the hands, and then going on the other side and looking again. It was a major hunt, but the only way you found out was through magazines. We didn't have internet we didn't have internet back in our day or any of these mechanisms. Right. It's true. I'm that old that's the way it was. You saw
and
it
look
in
at
the
us now.
Yeah.
Complaining about Wi-Fi lights.
I can't connect my lights.
fuck you, Kevin. It bugs me.
Wow, who
So-
thought we'd get more light digs than Boba Fett digs at this point? Yeah.
I'll take it all day. Yeah. So that's
don't know.
what it is now. Is it's hard. So when you see kind of things like that hits my memory of, oh look, red snaggletooth. That's all I was thinking when I saw him, red and blue snaggletooth. That goes into my toy collecting days. So
You know,
it was a lot different.
It also, sorry, my son just totally got me. You guys play the circle game? Does anybody play the circle game?
I
Like,
think
when
I know where this is
you're
going.
standing there and you go below your waist,
Yeah,
you
I
do
know
one of
it.
these, and if
Yeah.
you look at it, you get
Yeah.
punched. Yeah, my eldest just texted me a photo. Dude, and I checked.
And now he owes you.
He owes me. He owes
Yeah.
me.
Well done.
Because when we all meet you for the first time again after you owe us now.
You go for the handshake, and then when they
Yeah,
look at your hand,
exactly.
you go like this.
gotta be
Remember when
it's-
we did episode 2?
Bang bang.
Yeah.
It's got to be below your waist, though. Got to be below your waist. To what you were saying earlier too, Ernie, about the mistakes and stuff. It's like now they've upped it because they had the whole. Thank you. The rainbow colored figs, the
Yes.
vintage collection ones, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just like they're supposed to be random, but like I'm part of a nerd group, and they went through, and they had to have every variation of like whatever color scheme that there was out there. They had it out. It was on the internet. There's like 6 different iterations of the Vader, of the Boba Fett, and they went hell or high water. I'm looking at you, D Cirtle. You know what I'm talking about, Daniel. They had to have them, and for me, it was
Yes.
just like I just need one,
Can I get
That's
one?
all.
Right.
just
Yeah.
one.
We're those
it.
collectors now. Can I just get
Yeah.
one? Because I've been there. I've
Yes.
been with, like I said, all the Boba Fetts and all that. And now it's like, what did it do? I
Yeah.
sold all my collection in a divorce, and I don't have those variants anymore. So I'm
Yeah.
with you, because now it's like, okay, can I just get one from somebody? Does somebody have one with the 2 orange heads or a pink body, whatever it may be?
Right.
Can I just get one, please? Yeah. Because now as collecting goes, even when they're on the shelf, they're buying all of those 6 different ones, and we don't have a
Yeah.
chance
Yeah.
just for that
Crazy.
reason. Right. So there's everything. Going back to them bringing it from vintage to like Power of the
Oops.
Force days, the 90s, Right now we got re-release of those cards that Hasbro Pulse has put out, and those were done then too. The first ones were were orange card, and then they went green card, the backings, and you had to find that green card because it was Jawas and a Sand Trooper, and
Oh boy.
oh my god, if you have them on orange card, that's so much more than green card. Yeah. So when those got released, I was like, oh, please don't do that. Please don't do the different color cards again,
Yeah.
Here's Luke Skywalker on orange card, green card, and that's all it is. So yeah. You kind of much new collectors are all into that now, and you kind of grow out of that as an older collector, knowing what did it do. You got to tell somebody, I have that one.
It's a license to print money, honestly, for Hasbro.
Yeah.
You just throw a variant out there and you can say, oh, it was a mistake, and everybody goes nuts trying to find it. So, and it's funny because it's like a hysteria because everybody suddenly, it might not even occur to you. You might not even want it, but there's something that just sort of triggers, at least for me as a collector. It's like, oh, it's rare. Oh, and you just kind of sometimes you listen to the chats a little bit too much, and you're like, oh my god, I want this, and I never even thought of it before. But you get caught up in that hysteria, and you end up looking through or watching these Facebook groups to see if there's one that got dropped at a Walmart out in Brampton or something like that. So you just rush out there, and it's just like, I don't know, it's like a hysteria. Almost.
Part of that hysteria you're saying to printing money too is in those magazines, Kev, they told you the price. We didn't get to guess. So it would be Boba Fett one circle, $90. And you got that fig for $5, which back in those days was, dude, I have a $90 Boba Fett right here. Which then brings me to Yoko's world. That's why I hate Pops. I have no idea who the hell is making those prices on Pops. To say an animated Boba Fett is $2,000, like, boom, here you go. It's an exclusive. It was this. And it's like, where did that come from? Who says that this is 2,000? Because it's like immediate. Anytime a popular pop goes crazy, this one's $750. What the?
But
why?
my former world, let's be clear.
The what? Yes, your
former world.
Right, yeah. But you know about that. Like, that's what I'm saying is that's nuts. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I would like to give a special shout out to the Lee family for multiple members of Paul's family roasting him here in the chat.
They must miss him.
They miss me.
They miss you. That's sweet.
It was an accident. It was an accident. And yes, Daniel, same thing. It was. No, I ordered so many Black Series Bobas by accident. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And the worst part is
to upload the spreadsheet for everyone to download.
The worst part is I can't even sell them for a cost because there's so many of them out there. Yeah, they're on sale. It's like the biggest sort of like it's not like I accidentally pre-ordered something that's super rare now. It's like, oh no, nobody's buying these Boba Fetts. Like they're peg warmers, man. So,
it's a good figure, but there are a lot of them.
Yeah, and so they just sort of sit there.
Which one are you talking about?
The special, the deluxe edition. Yeah, the deluxe edition Boba Fett's. I don't know.
Oh man, out here they're nowhere.
The actual deluxe one. You don't have those?
No, dude. I'll send you one.
They're not here. No, I have one. I'm saying to say that they're peg warmers. Hell no! Out here, that is.
I've never seen one in real life. I don't want to.
Right, Yoko? I've never seen one. Mine was ordered,
yet, but I haven't.
They're right there with the grief cargas and the queels, man. They're just sitting there.
You guys are getting some packages from Paul soon.
We have that out here. Yes, right now it's queels, grief carga, and Lando. That's
that's
all. Who's on?
That's all I see.
Yeah. That's a trifecta.
I never saw
autographed by Carson Teva.
Oh, I'll take that all day. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take the one down that I have hanging for that. Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll do that then.
Yeah,
factory error. Awesome. They put it on the character.
I'm gonna start Ernie's Toys Pride guy.
So there's a new scam that's going on now where people they'll buy a box, and I've seen this a couple of times. They'll buy a box figure and they'll swap the figure inside with another one and just return the box. Yeah, and whoever's returning them, that's not new. Honestly, for me,
that's a couple of years. That's the swap the fig.
Yeah,
and God, I wish I could catch somebody doing that because I would call them out immediately. You're just trash for that, man.
Yeah,
the worker doesn't know. that you returned it, and sometimes
don't
it's
care.
really bad. Sometimes it's really bad that you chuckle at it, like, how did you even get away with this? Like the figure that they switched in there, like a Buzz Lightyear inside that deluxe Boba Fett. No, it's the same figure.
I've
Here
seen
you go.
one where
Right.
someone went as far as to recreate the same character, but it was like out of clay or,
Oh my
or
God.
Play-Doh, and then they
Wow.
painted it the same color and everything.
Wow.
I don't know
Yeah.
if those are a joke,
Yeah.
but that one was really funny.
Just check hashtag swap the fig
Okay.
sometime, Paul, and you'll see them all.
Oh, that's
it's-
brutal.
It is. It's upsetting, man. Well, especially when you round that corner, there's no other better feeling like at a Target or something or a Toys R Us,
Oh,
and you
God,
round
the
that
worst.
corner and you see it hanging there, and you
You
jam
see the
right
side
to
of the
it, like,
box with the character?
yes, yeah,
Mhm.
and then you look at the front, and it's, what the hell is this? Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Oh, Toy Rensu says at his Toys R Us, they call a guy to make sure it's the right figure.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Nice.
Good-
Not
good
all
for them.
heroes are
Yeah.
capes, guys.
Yeah.
That's cool. The latest stupid thing for here, Paul, for us is they're stealing the tops of the figures' heads everywhere.
Oh,
It's so
yeah. What the hell is
stupid.
up with that?
I don't know.
I've seen
I
like
don't know.
like
The Space
rows
Jam
of
stuff?
like, yeah, exactly. The Space Jam things,
Everywhere.
where all the
But
heads
it's
are gone.
everything. Yes.
What the
Yeah.
hell?
I don't know.
I don't
What
know.
are they doing
dude.
with them? Like
I
having
went into
little
one
fingered
store-
orchestras?
And it was like baby diapers, baby food, Tide Pods, and Space Jam figures. all
People are just
behind the.
bored.
I don't know, dude. That really gets to me. What the hell?
Yeah.
Sky Rider says, do they get a resident Star Wars nerd to verify? No, you just have to look at the face on the figure and the picture on the back. Like they're
Yeah, they're like-
sometimes
doesn't
completely
match.
different. And I think when you take it back to a huge company or like Walmart, a huge store like that, they're like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, the
Take
high
it.
Yeah.
schooler working returns doesn't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they
They're
don't.
like, actually, this
Yeah.
is Boba Fett
Yeah.
from Empire Strikes Back.
Or
And
the
now-
Like, no, it's not
90-year-old.
like that.
Right. And I'm with Captain Wrecked. I want to know. So where do I apply for that? Because I'll quit
Yeah.
for that.
The specialist.
Yeah.
Um,
My office
Okay,
would
let's
look
get back to the
exactly like
episode.
this. Just like that. This is my office would look like.
So everyone's turning around in awe because, of course, they've been saying, "Where's your litter? Oh, Boba Fett, where's your litter?" Jabba used to ride around with his whole litter, whatever. Finally, you hear it, the beat of the drum from the distance, and everyone's like, "Oh, shoot, he's coming!" And I love the different types of aliens they showed around there right before the Hutts came around the corner, the twins. And I don't know if you
I
saw
love
at one
this.
point when they were standing there chatting, this dude actually stumbles,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they kept. I don't know if that was for real or they're like put it in
Bro,
there or it
it's
happened and they're
bowed
just like keep
out.
it.
You can
Yeah.
see it bowed. Oh,
I think
man.
it was totally done on purpose just to show
Yeah.
how friggin' heavy those
Right.
two huts are.
correct.
Two
And
space
they're
slugs.
just when they're just standing there too, like that's brutal. Like you could just in the
Oh.
heat, they're sweating huts.
There's not enough
Um,
of them. I think
I
yeah.
don't think they can carry that weight.
yeah, I don't like I didn't I
You
get
didn't buy
what they're,
into it.
I just didn't think I think they needed like twice the people to actually be able to lift that.
Right.
I loved it.
And they have floating trains, so this is just a flex because
Yeah.
they could
Yeah.
levitate with some sort of technology.
Yeah.
But they're like,
And
no.
here's where like the episode just totally turned on a dime for me. As soon as you hear those drum beats,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Mhm.
okay, this is something that like I actually got super jacked over this part. And there's they come around the corner, and then it just intensifies again in a few minutes, and we'll get to it. But like just to see two huts coming
Uh-huh.
down, like just was amazing. Was amazing.
You know,
And they look
you know
good.
what's funny to me was nobody called this. Out of all these people's shows that
Mm.
I've heard or watched, not one of us have said, well, maybe the Hutts are going to come back. Like nobody called that out. So it was so great to see them come around the corner like, oh shit, wow. All right. Here we go. Yeah, that was crazy.
There's a Hut in the comics recently, and I forget what his name is, it Boko or something, but he's actually like really muscular. He's not a
Ooh.
blob. He's like
What?
jacked. Yeah.
Really?
Like
I have
Swallow the
not
Hut
seen
or
that.
something. I thought
Let's
it would. I'm like,
go.
that would be cool. But it wasn't him. And you know, there's a dispute. Boba Fett thinks he's the daimyo here of Tatooine. He's like, you know, Boba Fett took over from Bib Fortuna. He's like, I earned it. I killed him. But the Hutts are like, no. We have this that says this is ours. And Boba Fett, like a dad who's working from home talking to his kid, he says, I don't care what's written on your tablet. He's like, doesn't matter. I earned this.
Just the irony of it, though, is him disregarding that claim. Whereas when he got his armor back from the Mandalorian, he's like, look, my chain code is attached to this armor, so it has to be mine. And then he turns around, it's like, I don't care what it says on that. Get the hell out of here. I thought for me it was a bit like, okay, I understand, man. But it's like, it's a little hypocritical.
All right, I'll give you that one. I didn't even think of that. You're right. He did. He did the exact same thing.
Yeah. And the other thing too is we assumed that Bib Fortuna was running it on his own. I think he was just being a proxy for the Huttese. He was there. There's no way Bib Fortuna could take over everything and run it. He was just this sniveling guy, much like who's very good at running things for other people, but I don't think has the capacity to just sort of run it on his own, like a big show like that, right? Because he was taken out so quickly by Boba Fett, right? All of his guards and this and that. So that's the thing that gets me is I think he was working for the Hutts the entire time. And so, they just didn't have a presence on Tatooine because nobody likes being there. But I mean, Jabba, who was one of the most powerful Hutts, that was his base of operations in Tatooine, right? So there's something about Tatooine that is really sort of it's a focal point for the underworld. I think it's a conduit. I think there's going to be, so much action takes place on this planet that is supposedly, the farthest from the brightest center of the universe, right? So I think they're really going to start playing that up. Tatooine has become more of a focal point than the history of the lore of Star Wars has sort of led on. But that's my take. Is I think Bib Fortuna is totally working for the Hutts still, and that's why they're laying claim. They show up and go, "Okay, you think you're the daimyo? We'll see."
It just took us a while to get here.
Boba Fett claiming he's in charge reminds me a little bit of like Michael Scott declaring bankruptcy. Like he's just like yelling it into the wind.
Calls it out. Yeah. It must be. And that's it. And that's why everybody's treating him that way.
Yeah. Like it's not how it works, Kev. It's not how it works.
Right. It's not how it works, Boba. You just can't say you're in charge.
Michael Scott declaring bankruptcy is my strategy when I'm at the grocery store and people are too close. I go social distancing, and then they'll realize like, oh shoot, I'm way too close, because like they're like squeezing between my shopping cart and the shelf to get some cheese, and like there's this much space, and I'm right here, and like I'm with my kids. They have no care for any distance. Like 2 years, you haven't learned anything. So that's my new strategy. I don't care. I go social distancing,
or just cough. That'll work too.
It's too subtle.
Too subtle?
I'm not being subtle.
Coughing is too subtle?
Yeah.
Just make a real gnarly cough then.
It's okay. But we mentioned they're going back and forth, lightly kind of threatening each other, but also not.
You know what? Real quick, I love those the Gamorrean guards. I love the one who wears his little metal hat. That dude's dope. Like, do you notice that? Yeah. Like if you go back to the other shot, it shows him at the back of him. The other one doesn't wear his. I don't know. See, look at his hat. His tinfoil hat. I love that. He walks around like he
it's a helmet. It's not a tinfoil hat.
I know it's his helmet, but how come the other guy doesn't have one?
He lost his.
So you can sell more action figures, Ernie.
Hasbro's only give it to one.
Speaking of Gamorrean guards and tin hats, I have a theory.
Okay.
Tinfoil.
Tin hat theory.
Well, yeah. Like, remember, so in last week's episode, we talked about it here, right? About how they were there and they were right behind them and then they disappeared.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what if that wasn't an editing mistake? What if that was the Gamorrean? Like, should we be trusting these Gamorrean guards? Like, what if they knew the attack was coming and disappeared real quick?
That's
for
a good
hot
point.
sec to set them up?
Why would they join in though? Again.
for their cover.
Because if I had been going on too long, their guess, right, we better
Yeah.
join in before they think something.
No, I don't know. I don't buy that because they were getting their asses handed to them. And if anything, if you want them to be eliminated, they're at their weakest. They should have joined in and just eliminated them.
It's the long game
point.
though. It's the long game.
The long game. Why would you stretch it out? Just kill
We
them
don't
right
know.
there.
We don't know yet, but it's the long game.
There's only 6 episodes left.
Hey, well, I'm just throwing this out there. Like,
Okay.
what if it
Yoko
wasn't
loves
a
her
mistake?
theories.
Anyway, what
That's
if it
cool.
wasn't a mistake?
But the threats start to escalate, and the Hutts are like, well, you know what? We have a Wookiee.
This cool guy.
Skyrider in the
just-
chat calls him Black Chrysanthemum. That's easier for me to pronounce than
Chrysanthemum.
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 Yeah. Just think Santa with an N.
This dude is menacing.
I loved it. He came around the corner and I
Yeah.
lost my shit. Like when he
Yeah.
came around, I was like, oh, okay, that's awesome. Like
How
that.
good does he look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, he looks twice the size of Chewie. He's got friggin' spiked armor shoulder bells on. He's got the bandolier, the belt. He's black and like he just looks so friggin' awesome.
Even his
and-
face.
He's what
Yeah.
you call
Good job.
poetic, right? He's
Yeah.
poetic.
Right. And a good job to them. It's not like an old EU or anything. It's a 2015 comic book.
Yeah.
So we're like trying to catch up here. Was it awesome? It's so never saw this coming at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is just
So-
wow.
The comic that he's in, is that Legends or is it canon? Like,
Canon.
it's canon.
They're canon.
So the
Yeah,
stuff
Ones
that
they do
happened in
now.
that comic
Right. Yeah.
could
He showed up in
be
Vader
here.
#1, and it's Vader trying to find out who destroyed the Death Star the first time.
Mhm.
He's in the Dr. Aphra comics too.
Yeah, Dr. Aphra,
right?
too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then went off in a series in there. He's fought Obi-Wan. That's where his scar's from. It's awesome. What a great choice.
Yeah.
It's cool.
My God. Can I send Anna a super chat? How? Can I send her a super chat?
Joke's on you, babe. I already did. Ah.
How? Like, this is fantastic.
I have to admit,
Everyone
I'm
in
so
the chat.
scared
This
for
is
like.
Paul's wife.
Hold on.
I'm so scared for Corinne to show up right now.
Hold on. a
I'm
second.
like, oh
Hold on.
god.
Is he gonna grab 5 unreleased Black Chrysanthemum figures?
Right, just to flex and throw it out there.
But dude, this guy comes around the corner and it's a
Mhm.
big hulking Wookiee. Uh-oh.
Oh,
That's what you did to me, baby.
it's gotta bust out the White Claws now.
Fucking case of White Claws. Not just one can. Gonna drink them all, baby. Gonna drink
Are
them
you
all.
like Popeye or something?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Instead of spinach, you just
it's
crush a
Claws.
White Claw in your
That's
biceps?
it. That's it. This is the first bit of booze I've had since I've been in Vancouver because I had to hole up a little bit because I was worried that I might have, like I was a close contact with COVID, so I was just sort of holding up in here, and so this is I finally I'm in the clear. I got tested twice. I'm totally fine, but now, oh,
Man.
I think
Oh, dang, those are some tall boys too. Wow, all right.
I don't know what it is about this character, but I think his whole look, maybe it's because it's your first time seeing him translated from comics. I think his costume looks better than Chewie's in general. But
Dude,
this is
he's
awesome.
menacing. His growl. His growl was awesome, dude. It was
The look on his face.
yeah.
my
Okay, but I
wife
gotta
just
give it-
became a member of it.
Smooth like butter.
Thank you to Anna
Man, Paul,
For
she's ahead of you
becoming
now.
a channel member here on YouTube.
How are you gonna
I
surpass that?
really
flex?
appreciate having you here. This has been a pleasure with your comments. And it takes a little bit of the load off of me, so I don't have to make those because now you've got it. Thank you for supporting the channel. You are fantastic.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Wow.
And we have a super chat from Captain Wreck. Thank you again. Really appreciate it.
Another
Very
one.
generous. He says, another one. They spent the money on that costume. He has a history with Kenobi. I'll bet
Ooh.
a drink he shows up in the Obi-Wan series
Echo.
too. That
No
would
bet.
be
No bet. I bet you're right.
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
Yeah, he's here now. You've established him. I
That's a
want to
very
see what
good
he
point.
does. I hope we don't get it because he did in no way affect Boba at all. I mean, Boba even calls him out. It sounds like for a
Yeah.
mistake that he made. That's
They
what
work
he called
together.
him out
Yeah.
for. Right, exactly.
They work together, right? So
hmm
there's
He
They
says,
are the two bounty hunters, though. So
He's like, your gladiator doesn't scare me. He's like, this
Right.
isn't the death pits of Dur, and I'm not a sleeping Trandoshan. And then I'm gonna use that. I wrote that down because I'm gonna use that as a diss to Yoko in the future. Do I look like a sleeping Trandoshan to you? Like, no.
Is that a diss to me?
Who knows? Nobody knows how this joke originated. It doesn't make any sense. Tormigo says it reminds me of Alf.
oh god, nothing, dude. That's from last
up,
night's
Cheney?
show. That's from last night's show, man. You got to catch up on last night's show, Kev. It was
I did.
hilarious. We started getting into other talks and everything along this way, and I was bringing up the old Burger King Alf toy. And when we were going over it, I was saying, no, I thought there was only two, like one with the shirt on and one with the shirt off, and that was it. And we found out there was like 10 different
The
ones,
topless Alf?
all with shirts. Yeah, the Burger
Oh.
King Alf doll.
It's called Topless.
Right. And I found out, no, that was only mine. So why the hell did I make my Alf topless? What was going on there? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Another one of Ernie's famous customs.
Yeah.
There's also a
set up
super
my
chat.
therapy session. So
From Christopher. Thank you so much. He says, really great series, you all. Y'all love this. Thank you. I love doing this with everyone here and everyone watching.
You're generous.
So thank you very much. All right, so he's got a giant blaster rifle. Fennec's like, oh boy, here we go. She gets hers ready. And
He's like,
it's just a
finally,
bunch
I
of-
get to kill someone.
right? Yeah. She
Please.
cocked it with the quickness.
But what happened? Nobody killed anyone.
Nope.
Bloodshed is bad for business. So they're playing it cool for now. But still
It's
a
a long
little
game.
threat there. Sleep lightly. Sleep with one eye open.
Wait,
But
where's
there
this
was-
poor little mouse guy? You didn't get a
Yeah.
screenshot of that?
I didn't think that was that
Like
important.
just the
But
poor little
after
guy.
Bad Batch,
he, was-
I should have known you'd want
he
that.
used him to wipe the sweat
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
his folds.
Yeah.
Where's my sweat mouse?
And
He just flicked it away. Which is
we talked about Batu last week. This is a missed opportunity for Disney because I'll have to buy one of those in July for Batu. I'll do the
We-
same.
A sweat mouse?
We talked about that at midnight, and we talked about that at midnight 30 too. I suggested like one of those like frozen gel packs, right?
Yeah.
That you can,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right there, man, because it gets
Ernie,
hot
when you
over
started
there.
doing that motion.
yeah, yeah.
Dude,
I bet
I'm
we'll
all
see
there.
it. I bet we'll
Yeah.
see it.
Standing in line
Yeah.
for my blue
Lotion
milk.
on
Can I
its
get a blue
skin.
milk, dude? Just
Yeah.
getting it all
Oh my
over.
God.
Kev,
It
can you
takes
give
the
me
have,
sweat
like, a-
mouse from the basket and rubs the lotion on its skin.
Ew. I have a loofah, hand loofah for the kids. It's like a little animal, like a
Yeah.
frog.
exactly
Maybe
what it
they'll have
is.
one of those.
Yeah, we need it.
Ridiculous.
We need it in Batu
And man,
stat.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look
that's
on
so
his
good.
face.
So good.
Can you imagine this? Hot Toys? Paul's. Yeah.
All
Big
five of them.
space.
I can swap that. Have him in 5 different poses. Do the Spider-Man thing where they're all
You just
pointing at
wanna-
each other.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
They're like,
he's a
no,
giant,
I was
man.
purchased first.
They would have to add that growl though, like if you squeeze his chest and he'd do the growl. I'd order it.
Captain Rex says maybe a Rhodian, not quite a sleeping Trandoshan.
So you're a snitch?
Snitch. It rubs lotion on its skin.
It rubs the lotion on
Maybe.
its skin.
So the
All right, but there's no
fur
fight.
oils?
This doesn't
that's for-
escalate.
Sorry, that's from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
It takes the lotion from the basket and rubs lotion on its skin.
Or it gets the hose again.
Yes. That was from the Sweat Mouse.
Poor Sweat.
Everyone leaves, and after all the posturing, he takes his helmet off, and he's like, "Oh, it smells like coins in here." And then we switch to
All right, I'll give you that one. That was a good one.
Wow.
yes,
All
I got the
right.
perfect screenshot for it.
Oh man. I can't fight that one. All right.
So we go back to the back to dreams,
Coins in here.
and it's crazy that the episode essentially it's like cut in half at this point, and
Yeah.
it feels so different after the beginning. You have like your Western / mob movie style, like, you know, people power struggle taking over an empty spot, and then it changes to this whole journey of him in the past, and it doesn't miss a beat. Like I'm watching the whole time. Like this is actually cool. You see how he learns to fight with the gaffy stick, how he's able to kick ass in Mandalorian season 2. Oh, sorry, yeah, Mandalorian season 2. Sometimes words just float around in brain. But I think it's cool now because now he's training with the I don't know, is that hair or just long cloth on the
No,
head
those
with
are
that
long
one
claws.
Tusken?
Yeah.
Okay,
Long claws.
but now he's training, and like,
Yeah.
these guys are digging for water.
Yeah. The stink pots.
So he's leveled up.
So that I don't want to just sort of bring this back to last week. We had this big discussion as to whether the asshole sand kid took credit and stuff. Like, I think this sort of proves obviously that the little Tusken Raider did not take credit for beheading that thing. I think that's definitely a sign that if they've released him from his bonds and they're actually training him, they are they know he's the one that killed Goro, and so then now they're sort of integrating him into the tribe by teaching him to fight.
Yeah, that's true. But as they're training, this train rolls by, and my stupid ass was like, why would they camp by the train tracks when they know there are trains that come through and shoot you? But we find out later there's no tracks, because I'm like, why would someone put tracks through the desert? No, it's a hover train. Because I'm like, why would you make camp near there? But this hover train comes through and just starts sniping them, and nobody told Boba Fett, jerks. They just ran off, and he's left to trying to figure out what happened for himself until everyone starts shooting and gets killed. Oh, what fell?
Dang,
Uh-oh.
that sucks.
Probably
Yeah.
Boba Fett.
My non-wireless light fell. Damn.
Try turning it on and off, and then you should move it closer.
And then see what happens.
Move it yeah, I actually wrote down all the tips from the chat, so I will try that out later.
Smooth like butter.
Captain Wreck, thank you for another super chat. It says this show is one long ad for Timur's Polynesian spa. Yes, he had it renovated inside Jabba's palace. Oh, thank you for being here, man. Thank you for the support. Really
Do you think
appreciate
he
it.
has sweat mice in his spot?
He
That's
probably
in the
has some
next room.
too.
Hmm.
Yeah. You gotta think those are everywhere. Man, I thought at first this was a crate dragon. Like,
Yeah.
why do we always make
Oh.
that sound to scare away Tuskens, right?
Mhm.
I mean, we saw it in Mando season 2, and I thought when I heard it at first, I thought, so is this the one that they ended up killing? And then as it came closer, you saw that it was a train, and
Right.
I thought that was cool. So it's like everybody knows to play that sound or something to scare them away. But it was crazy, man. Like this, so they just started, like you said, they just started blasting on everybody.
Which I thought was
what I
interesting.
thought was
Mm-hmm.
That it just because they were not expecting the train, they weren't lying in wait. Nobody shot at the train. It's just like the train spotted them and said, "Open up, let's go," and just totally opened fire. But it makes me wonder how much territory it goes through, and whether, because we know there are different tribes, of Tusken
Mhm.
Raiders, and there's the more aggressive ones that just attack, like the ones close to Luke Skywalker's Uncle Owen's moisture farm, like in that area there, the Junland Wastes, where they just seem to attack anybody. And then there's this tribe here, which is just a little bit more, they keep to themselves and only engage when they absolutely have to type thing. So I think it's a really interesting sort of supposition that they make, where it's just like they just lump all the sand people into one group, and if they're spotted, you just open fire on them completely.
Right.
So
Right. Which then at the end, then we find out even more. It was such a great episode and this great scene and everything. I know the way that, like I said, we may be breaking it down and everything, but I love the episode. I thought it was great how everything worked out, because you had essentially a background character that we all have a thought of, exactly what Paul said, of just these killers who would just fight you, scream and yell and do anything. And at the end now, they're a full-on fledged, brought to the forefront of the whole thing, and now you have a understanding for them and like that. So not only is it character building for Boba Fett, but like as a whole, now you see these people in a whole different light, and seeing her train him, dude, she's such a badass. Talk about wanting a figure or somebody. Like, I want a figure of her so bad.
I'm gonna get 6 of her.
Because she's
Oh
dope,
my
dude.
god, that's perfect. Thank you.
When
Because
she
you mentioned
slapped
Uncle
him-
Owen, and I queued this up, and then you said I'm gonna get 6. Someone posted this after last week's show, and I had to post it. If you ever feel stupid, just remember Owen bought the same droid twice. He didn't technically buy it twice, but like he bought it back.
Right.
different
But
armor,
I
or
thought
like we
this
said
was-
before,
this was
you
fun.
have all the same droids everywhere. You didn't know it was the same one.
There's like
They
4
all,
droids
they all
in all of
look the
Tatooine.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ernie, you mentioned these background characters, Tuskens. You just see them as, these savage people
Right.
in the wild of the planet that just attack people senselessly.
Right.
But here, you see them getting shot for no reason, just as train coming through. It really humanizes
Mm-hmm.
the Tuskens. They're all helping each other up. Even Boba Fett is helping them gather the wounded and whatnot. Like all these different shots. It's like a war movie or something. And the people on the battlefield. So it kind of brings more to their character. This whole episode does, like you mentioned. And how's this look, Paul? It's very dark, right?
Yeah. Good detail.
Couldn't do anything with that. This is an even tougher shot because it's really fast. So as they're gathering the dead and wounded, he sees these speeder bikes, which from last episode we saw briefly that biker gang attack the moisture farmer, and then they went away. And then we're like, well, they got to come back later. Why else put that scene in if for no reason, without explaining it? So he sees the bikes. And he says to the leader of the Tuskens, he's like, I have a way for you to stop the train. Let me go. And I'll be back in the morning with a strategy. And they're at a point now, they trust him. They're like, you can go off on your own. And he went from like a slave to, hey, you're cool. You can train. You can go do your own thing. So he heads over to where the speeder bikes are, and I thought this was really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
There is
baby.
a deleted scene for Star Wars where before as we know where we first meet Luke, this scene takes place before he goes to Tashi Station, and he meets his friend Biggs there. And this was cut from the movie, but this is where you would have first seen Luke. And this building, Tashi Station, was cut, but like it was recreated they I guess recreated that set for this place. It's just a bar. It seems like it's just a bar, a hangout, because like there's people playing, I don't know, not video games, but whatever arcade games you have at a bar. So was Luke lying to Uncle Owen that he was going to get power converters?
I think it was everything. It seems like the only thing missing in that whole scene, if you go back from the deleted scene to what was there now, was that bar setup that they were
Oh,
serving
you think
drinks.
they turned it into a bar?
There you go. I know it had games and like that, so maybe it was like a hangout, like some type of general store where you sat and ate. I don't know, but that was the only thing that seemed added was where he was serving drinks. Because I
Right.
mean, he does. That is the line, you know. I want to go to Touch Station and get some power converters.
Yeah.
And then
I thought
that
he was being a teenager and lying about where he was going. I'm just gonna go to a store to get power
Oh,
converters,
and
but it's
it was
really a
this?
bar.
No, he did say Tashi's, and that is Tashi's station, right? Like it's
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's not inconceivable. I mean, we have them. It's like gas stations. They sell like car filters and this and that, but they also have convenience stores. You can get coffee, you can bake goods, you can do whatever, you can get stuff there.
Right.
It's in the middle of the desert. So
Okay.
it's kind of has to have, it's an outpost. It's got everything there, and the kids hang out there because it's better than hanging out at your own moisture farm, right?
Right.
That's
so,
true.
like for me, that's totally the detail, even to the video game that they were playing.
Yep.
It was great. I thought it was really a lot of fun.
Captain Crispy says maybe power converters are a type of drink, a beverage. We're going to go down some power converters. So there's this bar / parts store, automotive store, and there's Luke's two friends in this scene that you don't see. Ernie, what were their names again?
Fixer and Cammy.
Right. I remember one of them
and-
sounded like a Paw Patrol Fixer.
Right. Yeah. What was his first name? So like something I don't know, but they called him Fixer though. That was kind of his name,
Okay.
and that's Cammy. And then this is where he also saw Biggs.
Yeah.
Biggs was in this shot, and so they were all just the groups of friends.
And
So, like,
Luke's
this is-
nickname was Worm.
Yeah, she called him Worm.
And
Wormy.
I think that's the same station right there. That's
Yeah.
the game that they were playing
Yeah.
based on the location of this bar. So if you haven't seen this, go on the YouTube later, or when this is done, go search Luke Skywalker, the Tashi Station deleted scene, and you'll see all this stuff. They're looking at all the Empire's ships kind of floating around
Mhm.
in the atmosphere. And here's a better like wide shot. So I think it's cool. They went back, made this whole thing, and an awesome callback. They even put Luke's those two friends in the scene. So here's
Right.
that right wall, kind of there. I think that's awesome. And there's the two people. At first, I thought they should have been aged up more, but then I had to play out the timeline again in my head. It's not
Mhm.
that far
No.
away.
It was
So I
very
think the
cool.
ages are-
I mean, talk about a good Easter egg, because it didn't play into anything else. He was here to get the biker gang, so
Mhm.
it's really for those Star Wars fans to see it and be like, no way, oh that's so cool, and do exactly what we're doing right now. And to anybody else who doesn't know, it was just a scene. So
Yeah.
that's I love when they do things like that.
Like to build a whole set as an
Right.
Easter egg is
Right?
pretty awesome.
That's great, man. That's awesome. And then it's truly these guys are just a biker gang, literally.
That's how Yoko was dressed last week, minus
With
the
their-
orange hat.
their vests and everything with their clan, and it says Tatooine under. I mean, it's either a biker game or a Disneyland social group. Either one.
It
They're kind of
says
the same.
Sons of Anarchy Tatooine
Right.
on the back of their the cut.
You don't want to mess with some of those Disneyland social groups, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
guys
the
walk
style
around
of the
crazy.
game.
Yeah. I think it was
And,
arachnoid.
Cammy.
I don't know. That's the closest thing
This
that
part.
it looks like.
This part was cool with just the silhouette,
Yeah.
and
Oh, and the music.
it's
Mhm.
about to
that-
go down.
When his theme hit, oh my god! Like that gives me chills. I love the music in this series.
Were you shouting? You were watching this by yourself, right, Paul?
Yeah. I was not shouting, but I was. It's you're kind of crazy if you're shouting all by yourself in a room. You shout to wake other people up. So
Maybe you're excited, but
no, I just. Yeah, no, he shows up and like his theme, his kick-ass theme starts, and he's just gonna just wipe the room with these guys. It had all the elements of fantastic spaghetti westerns to it. I mean, that's what they excel in. And you're right, it's two different genres. It is the crime family, and then there is that old spaghetti western. where they're just going through. And I just love the universe building in terms of like what Ernie says, you take these background characters and you flesh them out. It's like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. You give them a rich backstory, and it just, all it does is add to the in-universe details. And it just, that makes my heart sing. You don't want to see the same shit over and over and over again. And this is where the strength of these shows are. They're in universe and they're just expanding on that, which is, and at its best, it really flourishes. And that's what makes some of the missteps that much more glaring, because they usually do such a great, like they always do such a great job. But those two little moments of humor just felt so out of place. It's enough of a speed bump where you kind of go, ugh, why didn't that work? Why does that feel weird, right? Whereas this entire sequence felt right, you know?
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, going into it, it's exactly what we were talking about, because right before this, the reason they got into a fight was the Nikto took his drink and stole it, just like
it
a
is
thug.
Mixed chips.
And
Yes.
and he said it. He said,
That's not
you know,
right.
man, yeah, it's not right. And I love that he was speaking his alien language, and he did that whole, he turned and looked at him and did his Rogan where he said, "What did you say?" Like clear as day. Like
Who said that?
That works, you know?
Yeah.
That was awesome. Because it was like, okay, now you know you're getting a beat down, you know? That you're right. It did. See, it has to work in certain scenarios, and this was just, that was awesome.
I think Nico Hodge mentioned something earlier. The great Tatooine train robbery, right? Another Western kind of thing, robbing trains, bandits and whatnot. And then here you have a gang just being wild in a bar, harassing people, and like your hero, the gunslinger, comes in. Or maybe even like a sheriff. No, he's not the sheriff. Cobb Vanth is the sheriff. Sorry, Ernie. He's the real Boba Fett. But
he's
you know,
not.
he comes in.
No,
He's a man with no name.
Go ahead, finish. Come in. He comes in and kicks ass, is what he does.
Yeah, he does. Absolutely does.
Yeah.
Just wipes the floor with
after the Tusken Raider taught him how to fight properly.
He's still growing. Everybody still grows. So that's cool. He got
old
new
Boba
tricks.
Fett would have found himself upside down in a trash compactor out in the desert.
Yeah, he's lucky there are no holes nearby.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Whatever.
The dumpster behind Tashi Station.
This whole flashback was awesome because it's Godfather, it's Fast and the Furious, all the westerns. It was, dude. When she rolls up as we get into it, I was like, yeah. You know, I was waiting for Toretto to show up on a speeder bike.
Family.
And the way she hit it and flew off, I was like, yes, Fast and the Furious. Like,
I thought these were uncivilized savages, and he's like, these are my family.
Yeah, Back to the Future, everything. It was great, man.
He was a total badass in this scene. I will give you that.
Thank you.
He killed it. And Kirby Kai, those are Luke's friends from the deleted scene.
Fixer and Cammy.
Is there going to be like more to them, you think, or is this just like a Easter egg right here?
Huh? Yeah, I hope not.
Yeah,
I mean not in that sense, but I think just straight for the Easter egg. You know, like that. They're still there. I don't know. We may
like
get
for us. It's for fan service, but for other people, it's just they're just relatable people at the bar.
Yeah.
And here we go. Makes a huge mess. Finishes a drink.
That was
Didn't
great.
leave a tip. And he steals all the bikes, brings them all back to the camp, and he's like, "My gift to you, to the lead." I looked over there like there's a camera B, but my camera's over here. What the hell? What kind of?
This was hilarious.
Okay.
This was hilarious. Did they just start going in there and tearing it apart?
Well, it's like what they did.
No,
Luke's,
this is my bike.
But it's like it's exactly what the other Tuskens did to Luke's speeder. After they dragged his ass over, they all just started rummaging through his stuff, right? So it was just like, oh, okay. It's an interesting trait.
And he's like, wait. This is hilarious. See,
and then
again,
now you have
I'll take this comedy.
Yeah.
The training montage?
Yeah, I'll take it all day, dude. It was hilarious. Again, we're going back to our spaghetti westerns or that, type of comedy like this, the silent comedy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, to get on right away and okay, you go first, and it goes backwards. Hilarious. I was
Yeah.
cracking up. Yeah.
The
Because
guy,
that fits in universe.
Yeah.
That fits
Yeah.
in universe, right? That is like, it's physical comedy. It's that situation there where it's like they're learning to ride this thing for the first time,
Mhm.
right? Whereas the other one was just, again, it's too contemporary, it's too office, it's too specific,
Yeah.
and specifically, you know, 20th century humor, which just feels it's just out of place. So.
And then it keeps rolling on. We get this guy who falls off, and the next guy behind him rolls over him. And he gives a look back, like, "Oh, sorry, bro." Like, that was great.
Yeah.
And the only thing that made me really crack up, like, what the hell are you doing, was the one who jumped over for the second time and landed, but then he threw himself off. That
yeah,
was hilarious. Like, what are you doing? Like, he made it. And then he
Was that not the
fell.
same Tusken Raider that kept doing it though?
Was it? Maybe.
I think
think
it
so.
was. I think it was
Yeah.
just the same dude.
So, like, he thought,
Just
"Oh,
go-
I'm supposed to fall." That was hilarious, man. Yeah. See, this
like
this
that,
was
you know.
great.
the rule of three. It fails like the first two times, and the third time you finally get it.
Yeah,
Right.
nailed
So,
it.
but that was interesting to see. And then he's got his badass gang of Tuscans on bikes.
Yeah, I wish
and
we
we
would have
go
saw
to the
one of the
great-
Raiders sewing up vests for them now with their mask on the back and everything. That would have been cool.
They're making vests now.
Yeah, new gang in town.
Patch on the front,
Yeah.
like the Ewoks learning to drive the speeders as well. Yeah, that happened too.
There you go. Man, she's on fire tonight.
It's my wife, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Seven Samurai teaching people how to fight. Yeah, it definitely got. It was just awesome, a mix of everything, all these different styles, and it really worked well together. Here's the Fast and Furious crossover with a train robbery,
So cool.
speeding up against the side of it.
Yeah.
That's when I realized there were no tracks for this. Great action sequences are hard
Well-
to just get a screenshot for here and there, but going
Going back
it
though,
again.
Kevin, we have seen this before though. So this is what's cool, that this was his idea, because in Clone Wars he did this as a young kid. He did it with Aura Singh and everybody else.
Right. Jeez.
Uh-huh. There was one where they were just working as bounties. I'm sorry, Asajj showed up. He actually does this with Asajj Ventress, which was very cool.
I don't
so he
even
has,
remember that.
yeah, he has Bosk, he has Asajj, some of the other ones, and they were to protect this cargo on a train for somebody who paid for it, and a whole scenario like this had worked out. They're fighting on the train, going up top. It was great. So it was kind of really cool. Again, another deep cut because he knows this. He's done this before.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
he throws out
And-
the idea, that was pretty awesome.
That's awesome. That it's like a
Again-
younger version of the same
I-
character.
When you
is
say it, when you
That is
talk about the
awesome.
episode, I remember it, but I did not even think of it when I was watching this. Yeah.
Boba Fett, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to mention Transformers. This is straight Bayverse Transformers when he crawled out, dude. That was when he does on the four legs, dude. That was Frenzy. Like, that was crazy. I didn't even expect that to happen, to him run away like that.
Oh, the
I don't
droid.
know.
It was everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy to see the way he operated the trains. They made it look really complicated, all the things that he
Yeah.
had to do. It was awesome.
So what made me think of Back to the Future was seeing the colors light up to get the engine to blow again. That
Right.
was so Back to the Future when they did their
Right.
train montage. I love it. I'll go to old movies all day long, and so yeah, this thing just to have this whole scene was great, man.
And yes, throughout this whole part, the female Tusken gets on the train and just starts tossing all of these
Oh,
these
Yeah.
gangsters out.
The
You
pipe.
see them one pop up like whack-a-mole,
Yeah.
and then just gone. She
Yeah.
pops up with her own head.
yeah.
That was
See, again,
awesome.
straight comedy, action comedy, which was great. That worked so well when she did that pop up, and then you're like, oh, wait for the other two, and then
Yeah.
they start disappearing. Oh, God,
Yeah.
she's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Give me that in a SH Figure Arts or something.
Yeah,
It's got to be like super posable, so you can have her kicking ass in all the different ways.
do the no look toss of her gaffy stick when she caught it again. Just dope.
Right. All right, so finally, success. They stop the train, and Boba Fett's here. Like he's just chilling. Everyone looks like they're guarding him now. He's already starting to be a leader, and he's talking to the leader, the Pike leader, and he was trying to pretend like there's what's spice. Whoa, what does spice look like?
So hilarious, huh? Right.
What's a truck?
Again, a gangster movie. Spice? What is spice? I love how you get to see it. That spice right there. But man, seeing the Pikes, I don't know about you guys, but I got so excited because, dude, can we please get Kira? Can Kira show up? Because this goes into the whole syndicate. And if you notice, they didn't call out who they're working for. Yeah. He just says, go back and tell them I'm here now. And he gives respect. This is where the whole character building comes up because he gives respect to the Tuskens of you're going to pay their fee. They'll protect you. You just don't roll through here. This was their land first. Like that was that was so good, man. It was
and
great.
The whole you're under the protection of the Tuskens now. Like that was badass.
Yeah. So as much as I love Boba Fett and the stuff like that, like how I had to mention last week, what the stuff that takes me away, like the two guards disappearing, not to jump on your theory, Yoko, but like how they were there and then they were gone. This one for me this week was that train was blasting everywhere, and then all of a sudden everybody was there.
That's
all the Tuskens.
Yes, that's what I want to put out because it was like they got there pretty quick because that train is going so far and so fast. There's no way that they would have been, and they were all running. Yes. And so unless Tuskens have like Jedi speed, the train went around a corner, which it didn't because it was going in a straight line, they would have been running for days to catch up to it.
Right, because it even blasted, like 3 times the engine?
Yeah.
So you were, and then all of a sudden, everybody's there.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what? Okay, here we go again.
Yeah, I have no theory for that one. I agree. That was
honestly, I think it's boring to watch Tusken Raiders run for like 3 hours to catch up to a train. And I think that's just like, that's a plot contrivance where it's just like, okay, you know what? Let's just cut to the chase. They're there. We'll fast forward. That could have been a time jump. It's like 3 hours later, and they're running up to the train that has been stopped for a while, right?
They're running like this and shouting the whole time.
We need to know, like we've talked about the whole thing. Yeah, every montage is just the sun going up and down and them screaming, and then sun down, sun up.
It goes to the whole, like, if you watch the prequels and stuff, it's like showing a starship landing. Like, do you need to show the Millennium Falcon landing to know that Han and they're there? It's like, what's important? Do you need to see that? It's like they added in a shot in Rogue One of in Return of the Jedi in the special editions of Vader in his shuttlecraft going back to or was it Empire? It was Empire Strikes Back, going from Cloud City to his Star Destroyer. They hadn't shown that before. He was just suddenly on the Star Destroyer, but in the special editions, they added a shot of the shuttle, the Lambda-class shuttle, going from Cloud City, because people were like, well, how did he get there all of a sudden? It's like, well, he obviously fucking flew there. But I guess we got to show everybody, right? And so there are these jumps
and here we are.
Go,
maybe somebody offered him a jetpack.
There you go. There you
go. Perfect.
I think part of it is that they called out specifically like how fast the train is going, though. So I think that's what kind of adds to it. Like, during the training montage, he talks about how fast it's going.
Yeah, he was with the leader. The leader actually rode with him.
That's part of what adds to the disbelief there, I think, a little bit. It's like that was a point they made, and then suddenly they're all there, right? They could have made it like turn a Yui or something at some point, I feel like, to make that a little more believable. Yeah.
Well, so during that scene, if you saw the robot turn or did something, just something to the effect of that.
Yeah.
He was spinning that wheel thing.
Yeah.
Right. The only thing I can kind of think of too was we had that shot of all those banthas. Like they showed
the banthas.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't know what that was there for either.
Yeah.
Because we had all this cool,
just the
and all
general
of a sudden
wildlife.
we were away.
I think it's a parallel between like the buffalo way back when. I mean, I've seen this. Okay. There's so many different parallels to the North American, the indigenous population, how the buffalo were hunted to extinction, how the railroad came through, and the outsiders came in and just disrespected all the land and stuff like that. So I think that's a direct parallel to all that. So to show the herd of bantha, because again, it's that whole idea too that Tatooine used to be a thriving planet with water and oceans. Like
Right.
it was the Dune Sea. And now, I mean, if you, depending on what backstory you read in the comics or in the EU,
Mhm.
it's, they were bombarded by an alien species that destroyed the ecosystem and laid waste the entire planet, right? And so the Tuscans were actually the indigenous population that had to adapt to survive in the harsh climates and stuff. So I saw those parallels there. I think some of it was a little bit too on the nose for me, but I appreciate it nonetheless, just because
Okay.
these are really, really deep, rich stories that don't get told enough times. And so I think that as somebody who's listening to these stories, it's a good reminder as well. And those are the best ones too, that where you can draw parallels to our own actual history and find sympathy or empathy or acknowledge this is the same shit that we've actually
Right.
done. So
Right. And you're absolutely right, because you absolutely do. When he makes those rules,
yeah,
you're going to pay them now.
Mhm.
You have to
Mhm.
ask for them to pass. So yeah.
Yeah. No, hearing that makes a lot of sense, and maybe this is part of me watching it at midnight, when it drops. But like in that moment, I was like, "What are these lumps in this?" Like I didn't know what I was looking at.
Right.
Like I was like, I do not know what I'm looking at for these 3 seconds. This scene is up. I was very confused. It had to be
Work
explained.
all
Lump
day,
30.
no naps. Oh God, it's only
Yeah.
11. I still have an hour. I can do this. And then you still run your show after.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Good
that's
times.
got to be a lot.
That's like me yesterday.
Right.
Smooth like butter.
Captain Wreck. Another super chat. Thank you.
I would like
He
to see a
says,
baby bantha at some point. Sorry, I just want to
Yeah,
see.
that's
a
not
baby
what he
bantha.
said.
That
He
would be
said
awesome.
Tatooine's Tuscan thoroughbred racing banthas. Is this tongue twister? But the banthas aren't fast though. Maybe they
Have
took the swoop bikes and just went back and forth and grabbed.
I'm telling you, it was a time jump.
It
They
is.
Okay.
It
Just
has to
cut.
be
They
a
just
time
cut
jump.
it.
Yeah.
You don't want to see them running for like an hour in the desert to get to there. You want to see them just as they're arriving.
Didn't we lose all the speeder bikes?
Yes.
Did they
Right?
lose all of them?
I
No
think
way.
so. I mean, his got shot out, so did the other ones, and then hers, the whole Fast and Furious moment.
Yeah.
She slammed hers into it,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, because everybody.
Jumped in.
Yeah.
right.
There's going to be a deleted scene. It's actually them running in the desert. I can't wait.
Just through. Yeah.
It's going to be on Disney Plus.
But also baby banthas, please.
Yes,
Okay.
baby banthas. Sure.
Thank you.
Oh wait,
With hordes
be
of
cool.
sweat mice.
On him. They got to
if
get
Black
that.
Series made like this, I
Oh,
would be
wow.
down for something like this.
Yeah.
Was it Power of the Force? This
Mhm.
one?
Yes.
Make it
It's
bigger.
a furry.
Released twice.
Not me.
Wrong furry thing.
That's
Nice. Good job, Kev. Good job.
Oh, that's cute. I want one.
You had to focus it in.
I don't think it's.
whoa.
It's just fun. It's 3 3/4
I
scale.
love their lips.
Yeah, it's a 3 3/4.
Yeah,
believe it
they
was
made
a-
this in Black Series. I'd be down.
I
Oh
believe it was a
shoot!
Target.
You're
I
being
think.
Tuscan rated.
That's the best name for a raid.
Yeah.
Tuscan raid. I think I was telling Ernie that earlier.
You were. Yeah. What's going on?
Chris
Nice.
Perillo
Yeah.
is raiding with a party. Oh man, thank you for the raid.
Very cool.
Welcome everybody over on Twitch. There's I'm assuming a lot of Star Wars fans here. Chris does 3D printing and he collects stuff over on Twitch and unboxes some action figures. It's really cool. Thanks for coming through. Go check him out on Twitch. Everyone who's here, welcome. My name's Kevin. I collect toys, and sometimes I talk about cool TV shows and movies because you get toys when those movies come out. So I'm here tonight. We're talking about the second episode of the Book of Boba Fett, the Tribes of Tatooine. So warning, if you haven't seen that episode yet, you don't want to be spoiled. Feel free to follow and then leave, or you could just leave. Either way, I just wanted to warn you. But I'm here chatting about the show with. I got the pointing down now. My friend Ernie from the Toy
What's up?
Migos, Livin, Vida, Yoko, also on Twitch, and Paul Sun-Hyung Lee. So thank you for coming through and hang out with us. We're just going through the episode, and we talked about some new merch that's out. So I hope you guys stick around, have some fun with us. Let us know what you think about this episode. We're currently on the scene as Paul takes another swig. He is the Popeye. I feel like those White Claws make you stronger. I can't do
Yes.
a Popeye laugh,
Yes,
or I
they
would
do.
right now.
Yeah.
No,
That
wait,
was
that's
great.
Mo from the Three Stooges. No, that's Curly. All right. Oh, the Curly references in a Star Wars stream? Crazy. Anyway, the Book
Boba's
of
pulling it off.
Boba T, Chapter 2. Welcome. We are at this part after the great train heist.
Oh yeah.
They've brought Boba Fett in. I like that. Was that one scene where they bring the tent down to bring in the camera so you're sitting in with the conversation? I don't remember if it was this one specifically or another scene when they were talking, but I thought that was awesome. The camera was just brought into the conversation, and we get to hear more from the leader of this tribe, which gives the title of this episode. And he tells essentially us, the viewer, there are many different Tusken tribes. And as I'm doing it now, I realize I'm just reading off the screen. But that's what was said. You know those presenters who like do PowerPoint and they just read the points? I'm like, just give me the bullet points and you can expand. Anyway, that's my personal pet peeve for another day. Grinds my gears will be another segment. Paul, we need to do what grinds my gears.
Yeah.
But
I'm up for it.
mentions. Yeah, you're down. I know you've got some grinding gears.
Give me a
my
couple
friend.
more White Claws. Let's go.
It'll be the post show.
Right.
Post show.
We'll bring up
Post show.
Wi-Fi
That's-
and
yeah.
Blue Jays. Yeah.
The Maple Leafs. The Blue Jays are okay.
Oh, sorry. Basically.
Yes, Paul is from Kim's Convenience, as it blocks out your face. Sorry, but we hear a little more about the planet since the oceans dried. We find out, this planet was very water rich. Also, earlier they mentioned those little desert balls that they drink for water. They're called black melons, and they're like, the Pike clan, if you march back, you can survive off of the black melon milk like these people do. So I don't remember if they specifically gave a name to it before, because last episode I'm like, what are they
No,
drinking?
we were calling them like water pods or something.
Yeah.
We didn't. I that was the first thing I had heard. And then it wasn't even water. Remember, he said he kept searching for water, and they said it was milk.
Mhm.
So I guess everything in Star Wars has to be milk, not water. I don't know.
Pez Liz says, yes, just what I wanted, in depth. If you wanted in depth, last week we discussed the science of how a flamethrower would be affected by the oxygen inside a sarlacc pit.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't get more in depth than that, does it? Well, we'll try to top it. And he shows, again, more humanizing the Tuskens earlier with the battle scene, and then now it's like not everyone is out to just kill everybody. Our tribes have survived by killing, and implying there are others who just attack people and raid. But ultimately, Boba Fett wants to help them. They want to help each other. He gives Boba Fett a gift, I don't know, very Pixar look. I feel like it could be like Pixar cartoon or something. They could make a version of this lizard, and Boba Fett's like, oh, dope, the lizard. And damn, they just hit him with some spice, and it goes right in his nose, like in the Matrix or something. You like that?
I do.
Big fan 2019 says, what does Mr. Kim think of Star Wars? Oh, Paul, where should people follow you to figure out, to know how much you care about Star Wars?
I have a YouTube channel. It's called Bitter Asian Dude Inc. Check it out. I do usually on Sundays a little segment called Fun Boxing Sundays, where I open up some of my geeky collectibles, do a half-assed review, and we chat. It's mostly Star Wars collectibles, although I am in Vancouver now, and I couldn't bring anything with me. So Sunday's episode is going to be pretty Star Wars light. But if you don't know, I was also on a couple of episodes of The Mandalorian. I cosplays many Star Wars characters. I am a member of the 501st Canadian Garrison, which is a group of cosplayers who dress up like Imperials. I'm also an honorary member of the Rebel Legion in Canada. Yeah, I mean, I've been like a Star Wars nerd since I was 5 years old. So I don't know what Mr. Kim thinks about it, but Mr. Lee loves Star Wars. Mr. Kim would probably be more like, what's a Star Wars? Huh? Star Wars? No, I don't understand. Oh, you mean Star Trek? Yeah, I watch it sometime. Guy with the ear, very funny, very funny. Yeah.
Also,
was
Paul will
great.
sometimes name drop John Favreau to win an argument over Ernie.
It's not.
Yeah, and then I lose. That's it. Done.
All
He
right,
gave
back to
me a
this
coin.
giant.
Right.
Sorry, this giant booger that Boba Fett has.
That was cool. I never knew the Geico lizard was a crackhead, man. He just went after that spice.
This
was
was
terrible.
another moment where I could have done without the forced humor. I think, like the
I
moment.
don't think this
speaks
was for
itself.
humor.
No, but
Where he says
afterwards,
sorry? Where he
when
says
he's
sorry?
like, "Oh, I think I," when he goes, "Oh, I think I swallowed it."
I swallowed him. Yeah.
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 Oh, I thought,
swallowed it.
yeah, I dreamt it or
Sorry.
something like that.
Yeah. He
But
said sorry.
this
It was cool.
this lizard, this Geico lizard, who's supposed to be a guide for him, I guess,
Yeah. Right.
help him on his journey.
So here's the thing. This is what was concerning me. This is assuming that Fett's physiology
Mhm.
is the same as the Tusken Raiders. I mean, they're completely different species. They might be humanoid, but it doesn't mean that they're built the same way, right? So that's a huge risk. Introducing like an invasive species to go right up his nose. Like, what if this lizard? I mean, it's native. I'm assuming it's native to Tatooine, and it would affect the Tusken Raider in the right way. But like, there's no guarantee that brains are in the same place, that the the chemical reactions in the bodies are going to be the same. I mean, unless the Tuskens are human. Right, and is Boba Fett a human? Like, I know we know he's a clone. He's humanoid. What planet was Jango Fett from? Like, all these different little things that sort of struck me as a bit like, that's pretty risky. Because what if that thing wrapped itself around his cerebral cortex and crushed it, and all of a sudden he's like lying on the floor, convulsing and bleeding out because an alien
That's when
lizard.
the credits come up.
Well, that's the thing, right? And it's got like the boom, 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 boom. I mean, so for me, that was a bit like, I thought it was interesting. I mean, I get where they're going to it, the whole spiritual quest. I loved it in The Simpsons when he did that with the hot peppers and stuff. This is something that is like not a trope, but it is a theme that has been explored many, many times before, the spiritual quest to find something. But I just thought it was interesting that they jacked him up on spice, put a lizard up his nose, let him wander off into the desert, and he had the wherewithal to come back with all this shit. Like, he's so messed up, he leaves, and the fact that he comes back with the thing still up his nose, for me, was a bit like, okay, this is it's kind of risky. It's a little bit risky.
I want to know how many noses that lizard has
I
crawled.
was just gonna say that. Yes, because he went back in the same cage, right?
Did they
so
sanitize
everybody's done
him?
this?
Does he get sanitized between nose trips?
I don't think so. Yeah. I
It's
don't
like a
think so.
COVID test. They just get a new one.
And that was it. It was very cool, though.
They kept him.
Yeah, he went back into his little home. It's the same one. Everybody uses it. So then you got to go around and start counting all the gaffy sticks. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
That's a lot of noses for that poor little guy. So I feel sorry for the sweat mouse and the nose lizard.
I want to give a big thank you to Big Fan 2019 and Joshua XP for the follow over on Twitch. Paul, that thing with the physiology, there's another instance earlier in this episode where in the bar fight, Boba Fett kicks one of the
Right, no,
Niktos in the groin,
Wolfgang's got nards.
and they actually
Yeah.
cut
Wolfman's got
like a
nards.
close-up shot of that. So we're to assume that he has space testicles, and he was kicked in them. So
Right.
you know, I guess sometimes they just make that assumption. No big deal, but you're right. What if that lizard was like bred to like eat human brains? Who knows? And you fed
What if
him
it
right
was
to it.
having sex with the cerebral cortex
Oh my
and
God.
left a lot of this like lizard gunk all over the inside of his head?
How many
You
White
don't
Claws
know.
in?
Is that for all the water shot right here?
That's
Maybe.
yeah.
I don't know.
Smooth like butter.
Captain Rec. My goodness. Thank you so much
Oh, he's loving you.
with the super chat. He's having a lot of fun, and I am too. He says, okay, last one from me. Says, alternate episode title, Fear and Loathing in Mos Espa. Love you all, guys. New people watching tonight, follow all of them. You'll always have a great time. Cheers. Captain Recht, what can I say? It's very generous of you, and it's just great to have you here. And yeah, if whoever's watching, if you're here new to the channel, we're going to do this every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific for the remainder of the series. And if there's more Disney plus Star Wars stuff, that's, well, not if, there will be, depending on our schedules. I would like to do more of this for more shows. Definitely Kenobi. So thanks for being here. Back to this. This is part of him. He's tripping out. Spaceballs. Gordon Scalzi says Spaceballs.
What's up,
That's a
Gordon?
great movie. He has he sees these two trees. I don't know. Did you guys read into any of this imagery? You know, it was in all this water. I guess in his mind, all the sands of Tatooine in this hallucination have reverted back to water for any reason. Feel free to stop at any time if you saw something in these images.
Well, I think it was like a journey. I mean, that's what he set out on. You get the spice blown on you. You get all these flashbacks. You get the water. So is this the Dune Sea? You even got a Camino flashback, which is always
Mhm.
great when they show those.
Yes.
You know, little baby Boba watching his dad fly away. Like, that was crazy. Seeing this, I love when we get to see the artist concept art at the end, because the artist concept art showed that those were Jawas standing on the side. So I would take it those are the Jawa eyes that you're seeing right there.
When you hear like little chittering
Yes.
voices in this scene when the eyes are blinking on the tree, so I think it's safe to assume that those are Jawa eyes when they were all crowding him, I guess.
I just see it as a thing of growth, man. Like, you know, we're in now the sands, and here's the water, what it might look like you did flourish at one time, and here's your flashbacks. So flashbacks were cool because he had his Jedi suit on. You know, that tripped me out at first too, because I was like, whoa, did I just see his bucket? And then all of a sudden you know, it was his full suit. So kind of what he's dealing with. I mean, I saw a lot of this as like what happens in Black Panther when he, you know, takes that flower and like that. Now we have the lizard. Like, you can see it in so many different ways of what was going on, but this was basically like his rebirth. He was just all the steps that he's gone through, and this is like his rite of passage. Did it really happen? I don't know, because he comes back with a piece of it. So that's crazy too.
Yeah, like in the middle of it. Did he know he was supposed to break and bring something back?
Well, I think that's the whole lizard guiding him type thing.
I guess so. And here's more of him inside the Sarlacc pit, where he gets knocked into by a blind guy. How much oxygen is in here? Chris says, I think the water inclusion is a callback to Camino, which could be too, because there were some Camino flashbacks of him watching the Slave One fly by. Another shot of the helmet with the Tamara Morrison's face kind of superimposed on it.
So that moment there too was, I mean, for me was, because that's not only his face, but it's his father's face, like Jango Fett's face too, right?
Right.
So it's the
right.
whole. I think for me as well, the imagery of like Luke going underneath the tree in Dagobah and meeting Vader and cutting off his head and the helmet exploding and like his face is inside of it too. So I think that for me was kind of like that direct sort of correlation of if he continues on the same path as his father did, this is how he's going to end up, right? Being
Ooh, I
digested
like
in the
that.
belly of a huge beast after being knocked into there by a blind guy
I don't
with
like
a
that,
stick.
bro. You were on such a good path there, Paul.
You never expect it from Paul. It'll come from anywhere. I think it's.
But you know,
just,
sorry. So the other thing that I wanted to say was like the tree imagery itself in the middle of this grand desert. I mean, there's nothing out there, and all of a sudden there's a tree. Even if that tree has been like dried up, like the fact that the wood is that strong on it still, speaks to like is that tree still alive? You know, in some capacity, like how could, if it's been there for centuries, one would assume, like how does it maintain, like that wood's got to be so scarce in the desert, first of all, right? For him to find it in that state, I mean, that has something. And the other thing, and this is just a nerd thing, is Joshua, like the term Joshua tree, that was the code name for Obi-Wan when they were filming it, Joshua tree. So I thought that was the first thing that struck me was when he's stumbling there. It's like, oh my God, it's called he's going there, Joshua Tree. Mm-hmm. We already sort of made that link with Black Chrysanthemum, possibly showing up in Boba Fett just because he's there. They've made that costume. So I think that's pretty cool, like how there's going to be that cross-pollination of all these characters and all these locations and whatnot. But it's very interesting, this whole thing. Like I'm curious about what the origin story for that tree is and the significance of it, because obviously they don't have it mapped out because you need a lizard to get there.
Right.
Yeah.
And it like I said, he came back with the branch, so it's a real place. Like, but how do you get there? Did you feel any Force vibes from it? Like I think there's different things with the Force happen lately. Yeah. You know.
Because I think the Force, I mean, you don't have to be Force sensitive or this or that, but I mean, the Force is supposed to be, I mean, if we believe in The Last Jedi with what's going on, it's in everything, right? And you don't have to be Force sensitive to have the Force play a part in it, right? So it's a really interesting use of spirituality, really, in the series too, right? Like there's certain events that have to line up for these characters to intersect with each other. His quest, for sure, going out there in the middle of this desert and finding the one tree that yields wood that's strong enough to make a gaffy stick out of, and to have the wherewithal to carry this branch back with him to the camp. I mean, I think there's higher forces in play here. And he doesn't have to be a Jedi. I'm not saying, he's Force sensitive to this, that, but I think if the Force is indeed in all things, there's that whole question of destiny versus free choice, fate versus free will. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
Gordon says it's kind of like a rite of passage, right? The search for your Kyber crystal for a Jedi. You got to build your own lightsaber. YouTuber. I haven't even had.
I'm the one who's
I've had 0.
4.
And that's exactly how I felt with this whole scene. That's how it felt to me. Was like I immediately went to the whole building of a saber with the crystal and you putting it together and everything like that.
Yeah,
seeing it so
Maybe
late was
be
a
the
trip,
next
though.
Ep2 thing.
Where I totally called that out too. I did a build your own gaffy stick. Like I'm down for it all.
But
day.
they have to shove a community lizard up your nose
and wipe your sweat off.
I just started thinking, I hope it doesn't start a new TikTok trend of sticking lizards up your nose. Like,
ooh,
it will.
It's already happening.
Yeah.
Go
Yoko, how'd you feel
now.
with Midnight 30 happening? How you already said, watching it and staying up so late. How did you feel seeing this for the first time? Like on yours, because I was tripped out by it.
Yeah, I was like, I kept thinking of Black Panther, honestly, but and I was really stuck on the community nose lizard bit, honestly. Like I couldn't get past that. So I think to really take in this scene, I meant to rewatch it at a normal hour, again before this recap, but I didn't get a chance to. But I feel like the whole episode will hit differently for me watching it at a different hour, normal hour this time. But because some of those certain things, I think I got too hung up on really for it to all really sink in. I think, but yeah, I think hearing your context of comparing it to the Kyber crystal hunt and everything, like I like that a lot. I think that makes it really powerful to think of it that way. I like that.
Right. That's just how I saw it. A journey, a trip you had to take, because then, when we cut to the next scene, comes back, Lizard comes out, and then you get taken to another great artistry image of the old Ralph McQuarrie art that we were talking about, Kev. And then you start building it. That was amazing.
I'll pull that up right after this. Shout outs to Gamertag0 for the follow over on Twitch. What's the next image here?
No,
yes, he brings a stick.
You don't want to thank that guy. Take back your thanks. That was
what?
That was the troll.
That was the troll?
Yeah.
Oh, I removed my thanks.
No thanks.
And did you ban that troll?
Insta-ban.
That's the one.
Did. Yeah.
Insta-ban. Thank you for your vigilance.
Pulling double duty here.
I don't know what's happening.
Dude.
I'm old and scared.
It's all right.
And I'm just standing right by you, Paul. I'm gonna ask you. So what's going on?
Just smile, guys.
Right? Yeah. That's all
Smile. Look at the camera.
How's it going?
I don't know.
I'm trying to find that McQuarrie art that Ernie sent me, because I went off that tab to find the that stupid.
Oh,
Owen
I'm sorry,
bought the
bro. I
same
thought
droid
you had it
twice.
ready to go.
Sorry, it's my first day. But he does go to it's cool because it's another montage, another building of the character. He brings the stick back, and you go through the whole thing of building his own gaffy stick. And as throughout the episode, you see it builds up. They're accepting him into the tribe to the point where they're leveling up like it's an RPG. They're like giving him new wardrobe and really becoming one of the tribe. So here's the artwork that Ernie, this post that Ernie sent to me, which McQuarrie art is always beautiful.
I love how much we've gotten with Disney stuff of all of these old things into now that is brought into light, because all his stuff was awesome to begin with, but then to see them always keep using it over and over again, it's just, that's way awesome. And it just feels so lightsaber like. But you're right, we did skip the part with the whole clothing now and everything, which we see when he suited up in last episode. That's still very much a big part of him, because that's what's underneath the armor now. So that
I have it. We didn't skip it yet.
That was
Here we
cool
go.
to see. Yeah.
Yes, it's after he makes his gaffy stick.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so. Can
Is that
we?
Kylo Ren?
I just want to bring something up, like his whole creation of the gaffy stick, which I loved. I thought was great. But the one thing that really brought me out of it, and only because I know there's probably a small subsect of people already who are shitting all over it, was the whole. I didn't know they had like home hardware chisels to use to cut into the wood, because those are very hardware store-esque, like the wood chips, the chisels that they were using to sort of knock it. Those were very much like the only thing I could think of were trolls kind of going, oh my god, like they're using home hardware or like Home Depot style woodworking carving kits to make the gaffy sticks. See, that's the first thing I saw. It's just because everything that the Tuskens have is so organically made, and then you see this, and it's such a specifically honed chisel. It's like you look at it and go, that is a machine stamped tool. And this isn't something that I holding against the show, but all I could think of was when I saw that is somebody's going to complain about that, which I guess technically I just did. I was a meeting. So what happens when I drink on a live stream? But I mean, that's the thing, because it reminded me of, like, when they first had the Force Awaken publicity stills and had Rey with her staff. Some asshole fucking zoomed in and it was like, well, I guess in Star Wars universe they have the Phillips screw because there was a screw in there with the and that's what they focused in on.
Yeah.
And that drove me like ever since then, like it just drives me nuts that level of just sort of like nitpicking and stuff. But I mean, admittedly, because I was in that mindset, like when he had the tool, I was just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I mean, and that's not to say that in the universe, like in the entirety of the universe, that they couldn't make a tool that's exactly the same, right? But just because I know they pride themselves so much on taking real world items and just like changing them up enough to make them, you know, a little bit more Star Warsy. I thought for me that was a bit of an egregious, like, oh, okay.
Thank you to Pez Liz, cheered 20 bits. I don't know how Twitch really works, but you took the extra clicks to do that, and I appreciate you. Thank you. What does that mean? What are these words, Yoko?
You're doing great, sweetie.
Hey. Here we have the Black Series, Boba Fett, fully suited up, and
I wish I had.
Oh, this exists already because I was thinking,
yeah,
this would be cool for Boba Fett.
there you go.
This exists already.
The Curse of the Toy Collector
in Black Series and in Pop.
Seeing a new character or a new outfit and be like, well, here comes a toy. And here are the tools that Paul
It is. Dang it.
mentioned.
I didn't even catch that.
Couldn't they make these themselves?
It looks pretty basic to me.
I mean, I'm sure it is, but that's the first, like when they show another angle of him actually using it, I don't know. That's my mind just jumped to Home Depot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is like a screwdriver?
Well, no, that's a specific sort of to make the grooves.
Yes.
Like it's a woodworking tool. And there is something very universal about it, but I don't know why it just like sort of pulled me right out because I don't know if, for example, the indigenous tribes of North America would have used an instrument like a metal thing like that to create the intricate carvings. I don't know. This is a bias on my part. I have no idea. I haven't done the research on it.
Well, it's funny because you say that because in another shot, when you were saying that, I was like, did they? And now that he just showed me, I was going to go back and watch it because then to hit in the blades in the back, he was using a rock, like a brick.
Right.
So you get what I'm saying? Like there was both there. So yeah.
Night, no, I love you, buddy. That's my
Hot
eldest.
Toys. Yes, good night. Hot Toys Tuscan Boba Fett is already released in Hong Kong. Hopefully Sideshow will ship. Sideshow will... I added the word ship in there. We'll ship their stock in soon. Yeah, but another nice montage. I love how almost every process he would look to the Tuscan for confirmation and be like, a little nod. And then go, yeah, he goes, okay. It did it like 3 times. I just kept seeing that. But it was awesome. They made him go through the whole process. Like who was it that said it before? Like a rite of passage. You got to earn it. You got to build it yourself. That's what makes it yours, right? You feel you're accustomed to it when you're fighting with it. It's like, most weapons, an extension of yourself. So he's doing the whole thing.
I'd really thought they were going to offer him a mask. I thought we were going to see that be presented,
Oh, yeah.
Right. Because we don't know what is that all about, you know?
Canuli T says, toying around, forgot to ask yesterday for the Black Series prototype Boba Fett. Is it just a rebox of the Walgreens exclusive one from like 10 years ago? We spoke about it earlier in this episode, but yes, reboxing. Ernie
if you want the long answer, go back and watch the first 10 minutes of this episode.
Feel free to replay this as many times as you like, but yeah, I think it's the same thing. New box. If you missed it before because it was a Walgreens exclusive, here's your chance to get it. And but Ernie had pointed out that the original one wasn't that much more money to find on the secondary market. But
right now,
yes,
right now, yeah,
right now,
as of right now, yeah.
So here's the thing, then. So as a toy collector for these re-releases, I know there's certain YouTube channels. Can't Kill Chewie is the one that I find, and he loves it when they do re-releases because then it just sort of drops the value of the originals that came out. If they do a re-release of a figure, especially if it's just a reboxing and whatnot. But I mean, temporarily, does it bring down the value of the older figure just because now you can get basically the same figure in a new box, or does it make,
I think so.
in a weird way, wouldn't it make like the older ones slightly? I mean, there might be a slight dip, but wouldn't it still raise? Because you could say this is a first edition,
Correct.
versus a rebox.
Right.
I mean,
I think it all
what's-
depends on what the character is too. So like I
Right.
was talking about that earlier, all last week, Amazon, you could get it anywhere. Amazon and eBay, you can get it anywhere from $20 to $30.
Yeah.
As we were on the show last night and I said the same thing, I clicked Amazon and it was now $39.
Wow.
So it kind of does, but then you get like the ones with take the Rogue One ones that are just being released.
Right.
Those are all brand new, better faces, face scans. You don't want the old ones. They look nothing like. The only reason somebody's going after the old one now is to have the original part of your collection.
Right.
And so that just goes back to collecting terms of what is
Yeah.
it now that people want and what are they going to do?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it really depends on the character.
Yeah, because it's an interesting. And I think of like in terms of comic books and books in particular, when you get a first edition of something, like that is they'll have other editions, reprints, and this and that, and you kind of go, yeah, it's the same artwork. You're reading the same story, but there's something as you get further along, there's something really special about getting that first edition. Like this is the original janky ass version with the face sculpt that is garbage.
Right.
And this and that, but there's something about the history of that. Of this is before all these doodads and this, these great sort of 3D renderings of this and that. Like this is OG, shitty action figure, and I'm wondering if there's going to be like eventually in a long enough timeline, if it's going to
not
be
only
worth
that, the original Walgreens was like 6-7 years ago, so it's the OG box.
There you go.
It's the black box with a blue line on it instead of the orange line. So you do have that for people doing a collection for the first time of, well, I do need that one.
Right.
So yeah,
so
that always just goes to everybody.
That's why I had to stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I had to stop.
It's the whole guessing game. You get caught up in boxes. He completes his gaffy stick, and he does this ritual, this dance, this ceremony with the tribe, and it shows he's really part of them now. That's why he wears those clothes, the robes, when we meet him in The Mandalorian, carries the gaffy stick, and is this, becoming part of this tribe? Is this the whole outlook that turns Boba Fett from the self-proclaimed most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy to a guy who just wants to rule with respect? But either way, I don't know, chat, you three here, let me know what you think of this ending, and I think this episode overall.
You know what they're doing to us, right?
Do tell.
Like, they're making us like the Tusken Raiders, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I
You know
where
what
she's
that
going.
means?
Yes. That's how I feel
They're
too.
all dead. They are all
They're
dead.
all gonna die.
Yes, that's exactly how I feel too. Yeah.
Oh, so Darth Vader is coming?
I think it has something to do with I don't know, the Pikes or the Hutts or something, and why taking over Tatooine is so important.
Exactly.
It's
What is
gotta-
the basis of him? Right.
It's got to have something to do with his tribe getting wiped out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel the exact same way. He's
Yeah.
learned the
Nice.
respect. He stepped up. We see this big ceremonial dance. Like you think, okay, so now the Tusken Raider story is over. Yeah, no, this is his reasoning for being the crime lord now. That something has to change and to do it with respect. I felt the same way. He's they're gone. They're done for.
Yeah.
And who is it going to be?
This specific tribe. This specific tribe. I agree with you 100% on that. You see, it's a storm cloud on the horizon for sure. And it's like, if you look at the timeline of things too, right? Because he crawls out of the belly of the Sarlacc. He's with this tribe. It's like, there's a 5-year gap between End of Return of the Jedi and the events of Mandalorian. And we don't see him till season 2 of the Mando when he's hunting down his armor. So in that 5 years, like a lot of shit can happen. And I think you're absolutely, you've hit the nail on the head, Yoko. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be pretty. And I think that's why once he's gotten the armor, like that's his mission now. He's to come back, and it's like, it's vengeance. He's going to, there's something big that's coming down, and there's going to be a big bill to pay. So
don't get too attached.
And again, this brings in, is this the syndicate of what's her name that I said earlier?
Kira.
From taking over from Maul, because Maul had them all come together.
Yeah.
All of the gangsters come together, the high ones at least. Pikes, everybody was there with him. And then now that she's gone, she's second in command. So that's what I'm saying is this who she's going to be? Is this our big bad? It's going to be Kira. That's who he has to go up against.
That would be cool.
To get everybody, because I felt the same way. Like we just said, God, it was so great. We see the growth of the Tusken Raiders. They're, brought to the forefront, and well, crap. What does that mean? We're going to lose them all.
Mm-hmm.
Fred says the Pikes are going to come back with a vengeance and slaughter all of them, and Boba Fett is going to go John Wick on them. That might be it.
Yeah. There's no way they make it out of this season alive.
Oh my God.
I hate, that's, I'm just protecting.
Right. And could be too the female one that has been training him and everything. That could be why he has Fennec so close to him now as well.
Yeah.
I see that a lot, because he is listening to her. He doesn't talk down to her. It isn't like I'm the boss and you're, like the whole Jabba and Bib that we saw. He totally disrespected Bib Fortuna, and we don't see that here. He treats her as an equal. So I really think that may be the first one to go, actually, when you think about it, like that's his closeness. Yeah. Is the badass chick that we love so much. That would suck.
Kira's Black Series figure is almost free. Yeah. Maybe here's an investment opportunity. Buy low, and then when she shows up, now you have 6 of them. And that's the excuse Paul will make.
It's so funny though. I honestly buy them by accident, but there's a part of me that sort of justifies buying more than one of a figure.
Oh yeah.
For just in case it skyrockets. I don't want to miss that train, and I want to have one so I can cash in a little bit, or at least pay for my initial investment. But I mean, that's years down the line. I mean, that's such a long shot. But it's one of these things where I buy these things and I'm like, I'm not going to sell them. They're mine. I love them. Yes, I have 6 of them, but they're my 6. So I'm going to fucking keep them. No, not exactly. But it is kind of like that option. Like, because I've gotten out of Black Series collecting. I've got so many of them now that I just was hoarding like gold. But now I'm like, what do I do with them? Do I sell them? And then a part of me feels shitty about like reselling them for a profit. I don't know why. It's just this weird thing. That being said, I have some Black Series figures if anybody's interested.
This is just a platform for people to sell their wares. Paul, as a Hot Toys collector, what character from this episode would you want? And if it came out, it's like instant buy.
Oh, the female Tusken Raider, first and foremost, right there. The cowardly couple in Toshi's Power. No, I'm just kidding. You know who would be really cool? The mayor, actually, the hammerhead. I think would just make a really cool kind of figure.
Or a water slide.
Yes, with the head. Actually, no. Black Chrysanthemum, for sure.
Yes,
is another one right there. Black Chrysanthemum. I'll get 7 of him.
Should have been first, I think.
What about the Jabbas? Sorry, the Hutts.
Yeah, the Hutts. I don't know. It's just those don't. It's hard to pose them dynamically. I mean, that's the reason why I didn't get the Black Series.
They come with all the people holding them up.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
In 1/6 scale?
No, 1/4 scale.
Oh my god!
Gigantic huts and like 16 guys that you have to pose with like swappable heads with the sweat on them, and You can get the ankles and the back spent.
Oh yeah,
and stuff.
with
I think
tripping
that'd be fun.
action. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a
Well,
lot of
if
fun.
you buy multiples of whoever, you can just use them as the base of the people carrying the litter. Yoko, how about you? What characters from tonight would you buy? I know
Oh.
you've been rearranging a lot. Yeah, you're displaying the
Yeah,
background.
I don't know that I would buy any for my own collection. Honestly, I think like the Tuscan warrior would look amazing, and Black Chrysanto would look amazing, but I don't know that they have a spot in my collection. Honestly, other than Fennec. Oh, the Hujib apparently is what the proper name of the sweat mouse is.
I like Sweat Mouse
Oh,
better.
okay. Sweat mouse sounds
Sweat mouse
slightly
sounds so-
I'll
gross.
take a
so
sweat
it's-
mouse, and but you know what? Like I could go for a cool bantha figure. Maybe I like the bantha. I don't.
Fred says, Black Chrysanthemum Hot Toys, please, and I'll take a 1-to-1 scale
Ooh.
Boba's gaffy stick as well.
Oh, and here's another thing. How come Boba doesn't? I think it would be totally badass if in his armor he still carried that fucking gaffy stick with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, where'd it go? It's like you kind of went through hell to get it, and now it's just like, where's your? Is it interchangeable?
And
Like
he's
his
just
jetpack?
wearing his jetpack for decoration, so he probably could use the gaffy stick.
That's what I mean.
It's like the Mando, it's either backpack or spear. I think when you
Right. He doesn't use his
it
rifle
takes that
anymore. His
spot.
Ambin rifle.
yeah. Ernie, how about yourself?
I want that wolf crackhead lady that was in the town in the bazaar right there with the bikini on. Give me that one all day.
That was Pam Riddle as well.
Was
The
it
same-
really?
Yeah, the same woman who played the snippet. Yeah. That was Pam as well.
Why did we need that one? That was so creepy looking. Yeah,
I
it's
actually
like,
have the screenshot of her, Ernie.
you know what she was doing.
I
in
saw
there.
her in your screenshot. I did not notice her when I was watching the episode.
Oh yeah, she scared the crap out of me. I'm like,
It's
look
hot.
at that, dude. Right?
It's hot
yeah.
on Tatooine, and she's modest. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Don't body shame
Hey.
her.
If you've got it, flaunt it. Let's go.
Right. Yeah. Look at the Gamorreans with their
Looks
booty
like a
shorts.
Kira outfit. Maybe she was inspired.
Yeah, it does look like a Kira outfit. You're right. Yeah, but look at the side by side. You have that lady, and then you have this one. I'll do anything for
Awesome.
$10. Give me 10 credits.
No.
Yeah,
For
that's
me,
what the Jawas were doing.
Oh, and the two Jawas are I know them as well. They're great.
Oh, really?
Yeah, wonderful people. Wonderful people.
That's
It's,
awesome.
yeah. Ariel and
that's awesome.
Judy?
That's so cool that you
Yeah.
you know. You're like, yeah, I know that person in that costume.
It's
in that person.
honestly, it's just so surreal, like knowing all these people that are in there. It's great.
What I wonder what that would be on like her IMDb though. It's like I played this alien. What was the name of the alien? Bikini alien in Mos Espa.
Hold on. She has it on her Instagram page.
Is she
Oh, it
Quill
actually has
and
it.
Frog Lady? Is that the same one?
No, that's Misty Roses. That's Misty.
Oh, okay.
She does more of the featured.
I thought it was her
creatures?
too. Okay.
No. So
Black Series, Black Chrysanthemum, I would probably get, but I don't know. Hopefully they don't try to make it a deluxe. Or if they do, hopefully it's a good deluxe.
the
Should I look it
bikini
up,
is a Hask, Mos Espa Hask citizen,
Mm-hmm.
and
No, that's a very nice way of putting it.
yeah, and then second pick she's a Snivian.
Right. What's the IG name?
Pam Riddle official. Give her a
Pam.
follow. And there's also the Jawas are Jawa Ariel, and
Riddle?
Jawa Lay. Yeah, Riddle, or like I'll tell you Riddle, Riddle.
Oh yeah, she has a good picture up of her. Oh my god, even more detailed.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a good screenshot.
whoa, of that hat.
Here it is. I don't know how to spell it clearly.
Yeah,
Look
so
at that
give Pam
second
a
picture,
follow.
Woo!
Oh, that's cool.
Dang.
That's badass.
So I was actually very fortunate while I was in Los Angeles. I was invited to a Christmas party at a Scum and Villainy Canteen, and so that's where I met them, which was great.
Nice.
Yeah, fantastic human beings too. Also,
Black Series. Yes.
sorry, there's a picture. I wish I could share it of one of the Jawa ladies.
Whoa.
No, her phone had 89,000 unread email messages. You know how you see the little
Dang.
bubble with the number? 89,000 unread, like unread messages. That blew me
Wow.
away. And then the other one was, she had it at 32,000, and somebody else had 52,000 unread email messages.
My goodness. Spam filters, people.
That stresses me out.
Yeah, it really does, right? I have to check mine right now. 118.
I have zero, dude. Zero.
Nice.
If I see
I'll
a
message
one, it
you,
bugs
Paul.
me.
I'll message you.
Agree.
Paul.
I can't let it stay up.
That's beautiful, Bantha.
And
It is
Mando,
beautiful.
when they came back, season 2, I went out and picked these up. I picked this one up, and I was hoping an army build, but that's ridiculous. But if there were more reissues, 3 3/4 scale of these, I would absolutely grab another 1 or 2. You get a little Tusken on top, and it just looks fantastic. So things from this episode, maybe another one of these, a Wookiee, Street Lady, whoever the one Ernie has a crush on, would be cool. And DJ Rex, obviously. All right, chat.
There is a Rex.
Anyone
figure
you
out.
want to see tonight? Oh, the Lady Tusken.
The Rex figure is old. That was at Disneyland.
The Rex figure.
Yeah, I have one of those already.
Captain Rex?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
My sideshow Hot Toys of him is finally shipping. I just got a notification today.
Oh, there's a Hot Toys of him?
Yeah.
He's
Hot
talking
Toys
about
Captain
Captain
Rex.
Rex. You're talking about DJ
Oh.
Rex.
Oh, I see. That's why I said Captain
Wait.
Rex?
Right?
No, I
And you
have a
said, yeah,
Captain
man.
Rex. I have
Okay.
a Captain Rex.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Look.
Oh, wait. Okay. I get
I'm
what
talking about the
Yoko's
Hot
saying now.
Toys.
And you're talking about Clone Wars Captain Rex.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about the
And
droid.
I'm talking about Star Tours droid Captain Rex.
See, I haven't been to Batu.
Right. Right. Well,
He's
no.
not-
I missed that train.
Have you ever rode Star Tours?
Star Tours. He's
Like in Florida back in
The-
2001.
The original? Right. So the original, that's who the original droid was.
Oh.
Was Captain Rex in the original ride, which is actually it's the
Interesting.
35-year anniversary right now. And the he was
Ooh.
voiced by Pee Wee Herman. So
Paul
that's
Rubens.
very cool. So that's very
Amazing.
cool as well too.
Amazing.
And then so when they revamped everything and now 3PO was put in, he's in the cantina as DJ Rex.
Okay.
And then
Ah.
depending on which one you go to, they have different models, like to show that he was, R3X is his numbers. So like that. So there was figures of that. That's where I thought we were
Yeah.
talking
Oh,
about.
I see.
That's
No,
why I
no.
was like,
No.
no way, there's a Hot Toys.
Deep
Again,
cuts.
Jetpack.
Cuts for all you out there. Jetpack.
Yeah.
Very deep.
Again, you need a jetpack and you need a Captain Rex.
Only if it smells like coins.
Yes. Yeah, that was great.
Oh, yeah, Fred's idea of the gaffy stick would be cool. Maybe with like a Nerf
Yeah.
tip, because they do have the Mando's blaster, the Nerf version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
The
long,
rifle
expensive one.
that he uses
Mhm.
to
Oh, yeah.
blow
For
up
like
Jawas with.
$200.
Yeah, I did not
Yeah.
get that. That's a very expensive Nerf gun. Nope.
Yeah.
One day. Responsible adult says don't get it right now, but we'll
If
see.
you're gonna do it, you got to get the Aliens Pulse Rifle.
Mm.
Which one? Oh,
They're releasing the Aliens Pulse Rifle, the Nerf edition of it,
Yeah.
with the actual counter, big special box.
Right.
Yeah, it's there's going to be a bunch of repaints happening there.
That was up on Hasbro Pulse too.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Not a HasLab, but it was up on Hasbro Pulse.
Yeah.
So.
can you get a
Yeah.
Bantha costume with Raider for a Yorkshire Terrier? I don't know if you can.
Mhm.
That sounds like a fantastic idea, and definitely someone needs to make it. Maybe go on like Etsy or something.
No,
I feel like
actually
you'd find something like that there.
no, that's like a true thing. I think it was PetSmart like 3-5 years ago. Star Wars integrated and start going into PetSmart stuff and like that. I know because I actually have a Boba Fett dog toy because I have to have everything Boba Fett.
Of course.
And it's it's like this big, and he has a giant head, and it's a for a while there, PetSmart had the Star Wars license, and they were making toys, animal toys, for all sorts of different stuff.
Yeah, I have
Right.
Leia ears that I put on my cats.
Yeah, see,
They did not
Right.
like it.
yeah, and
Leia,
so
Leia buns.
there's a Yoda costume.
Mm.
There is a Tusken Raider, and there
I've
was
seen those.
I think there's like
Seen
two
those.
more. Yeah, that you throw on, so it looks like they're walking. But on that one, it was the Tusken Raider.
Nice.
Anything else from this episode? Because I'm all streamed out this week.
I did like the dance at the end. It was very much. I like the slow build of it. I love how Boba, like, he'd been taught the dance and how everybody had joined in, and it became very, for me. I mean, because I know Tamira Morrison's background is Haka. That's what it became, like this Maori dance, Haka dance, and I thought it was a really powerful way of ending it. And again, I'm in love with the music on this show. I really love that it is so distinct from any other show, like up to the Mandalorian, basically. Although it is in the same universe, it just, for me, the series is gaining momentum, and I really enjoy that. And I think a lot of people like to shit on the first episode. It's just like we've lost all ability to be patient and to have stories build and these world creations. I mean, everybody was like, there wasn't enough action. It's like, oh my God, like, fuck, just give it a chance. This is why we can't have nice things. It's like, just be patient. There's 8 freaking episodes. Give it a chance to breathe before you shit all over it. And that's the biggest thing for me. And I will admit, at the beginning of this episode, I was a bit like, is it going to be like Jokey Von Joke Central, where they try to like turn it into an episode of The Office? I will admit, that first episode, I was screaming, parkour, 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 the whole time. But I mean, I really, with the introduction of the twins, with Boba's backstory being told in terms of him integrating and learning to survive in the deserts of Tatooine, I'm really excited about this series. And I think, I hope, and I know this as the series progresses, it's going to take a lot of the naysayers and make them eat crow. So it's great. I'm really looking forward to the next episode. And I'm going to drink more.
Nice.
Why not?
Everything that Paul said, man, exactly that. We're only chapter 2. I can't wait to see where this is going to grow and develop. If with 2 stories, we've seen the development of a Tusken Raider tribe and the development of Boba into this, what else is going to happen? And as we've already theory crafted everything already before, what is it going to bring, you know? How many more episodes until we lose all those Tusken Raiders? And he loses his shit, and here we are.
Yeah.
I just hear Paul going through so many cans in the back, looking for one that's not empty.
Different flavors.
There's
got to be another one around
flavors.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And I feel I want to be ready next episode to be able to drink with him. Like,
Yes,
all
sir.
right, let's do this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Nobody ordered boba? Like, this is... Oh, Yoko. Yes,
Yeah.
cheers.
Yeah, you guys always did. Nope, I got punch.
We gotta spill the
That's all I
boba
got.
tea.
I can't drink
So
boba
cheers.
tea because it's too much sugar.
And Kevin always goes long,
You
so
can
I
get
made
it
sure
with
I
less
had
sugar.
I made sure I had 2 cups. So
Nice.
I was all yeah. Kev goes long.
That's where you
gotta make
keep your nose lizard. Yoko.
Especially the second half of this episode, I think was beautiful, and I love the message that they're putting out there, and I hope people get it. And I also really like the what's the opposite of rely? How they downplay like dialogue. Dialogue does not drive the story. And I think that's a really neat new storytelling, not new storytelling, but different storytelling technique. I think that a lot of shows, things are over explained for you, I think, in dialogue. And I think it's really nice to just watch it and see it play out. And I really enjoy that. And yes, I am bracing myself for the inevitable heartbreak that is coming.
Yeah.
And I will make jokes about them all dying to defend myself against that.
I'm not
But
ready
it's
for
gonna
that.
happen, and then I think then we'll see badass Boba Fett again that we saw in Mandalorian, not what we saw in original trilogy.
Oh man, Catching
Sorry, she got it in. Sorry, she got it. Like right at the
Yeah.
end, Yoko slides in with that hook slide, and it just
Yeah.
just
a
nails
bubble
Boba.
tea party, a Boba Fett. Amazing.
Ooh.
Bravo. Bravo.
Wow.
Bubble tea bar. Perfect. Yeah,
Oh,
I
wait,
felt
one
that
more
on
thing.
the ankle ball.
One more thing. I'm wearing the outfit I was planning on wearing when we did our Star Wars Visions recap stream. That never happened. So I decided to wear that today in its honor.
One day.
No, I already have it.
Did you like that episode that you're wearing?
The twins. I did like this one a lot. You didn't like it?
Oh, here we go.
No.
Another day, sir.
This will be
Right?
fun.
Please.
Yeah.
Please, no
This will
more.
be fun.
Kevin's all, I have to go.
No mas.
Day.
Yeah. RMD Collective brought this up earlier. I just want to point out real quick. He said Dave Filoni is producing Chapter 6. So I hope we see Cad Bane. Interesting. Is that confirmed? Is that a rumor? Did you just see it?
No, I read that
let us-
earlier too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Here he's writing it, right? Like he wrote he wrote it. He wrote
Okay.
Chapter 6. He
Oh,
wrote
he wrote it.
6.
He's not. Yeah, producing is different. Like he's producing the entire series.
Yeah, no.
He wrote Chapter 6, I think, is what came out today, or I read that somewhere.
Okay.
So people are saying, what does that mean, Cad Bane or Ahsoka or something? But
Yeah, because when we get one of those like really good when it's hits when he's like, let me do something real quick, and that's what's awesome. Yeah.
What's going on, Alex? He says, like Paul said, show's gaining momentum. I love this episode. I'm a sucker for origin stories. I'm reading really fast because my headphone is dying. Love the meaning behind Boba's gaffy stick, his garb, crystal meth lizard, and Black Chewbacca. All right, thank you for being here. Fred says, great episode and have a great recap, y'all. Thanks. Everyone, these three people are amazing. All of their socials are in the description of this video here on YouTube. You can check me out on Instagram at Toying Around. A lot of videos came out this week on the channel, so please subscribe. Go back and watch it if you like. Everyone who's here from the raid over on Twitch, thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around. I hope you had a good time. We'll be back next Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, talking about Boba Fett Chapter 3. Next Thursday, we'll be Unboxing Thursdays, where I'm going to sit down and open some toys with a friend and chat about this hobby. So I hope you like toys too. And how fast can I really talk? Anything else? Did I miss?
I hope we see
I think
Dr.
that's it.
Afra at some point. I'm just going to say that.
Oh, that would be really nice.
That's all I can think about now.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone who stuck through it with us. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Have a good night. And keep toying around. Peace.